wasting your time.
You said it was a dirty ritual. Oh.
I did not.
Oh, somebody did in the song.
I took an imaginary fat bong rip just now.
Yeah, you did. That's what it would sound like.
I don't even know where that cough came from.
Are you
Jesus
okay?
Christ.
It was a song, it got to you.
Black Jesus.
I don't know, I haven't seen Black Jesus
Are you
yet.
giving me fictitious blunt smoke in my lungs?
Man, last night was crazy. We need to act like adults and compose ourselves better than what we did last night.
We need to behave.
We need to behave.
Yeah, the jokes were a little bit
Outrageous.
outrageous, even for this channel.
But they were still funny.
And I would like to do it all over again if we could do so.
Jeez.
Davey the Hug Monster, my lady is here. Big hugs, Davey.
That was just ridiculous. Paulo's in the house.
We got Blade Runner.
Steve.
Somehow I convinced Oklahoma to mosey his tornado ass over here and sweep up on some goodness.
Hang on, let me go
Okay,
through.
sorry,
Let me go through this.
I got a little excited.
We have one of our wonderful moderators, Steve Sonish Lucas. You were highly missed yesterday.
Yes, you were.
You have to go back and just listen. You don't have to listen to the whole thing, but listen to when the jokes started. 99.9% of them were cringeworthy.
And they should cancel us.
They probably should.
Kent Spong had the worst of the worst of them.
No.
Who?
No.
Oh, Panda's wife.
No.
She's just downright racist.
No.
Who?
No. In my opinion, the worst ones
James.
coming from Fingers. Yeah. Dyson.
Monkey
I
fingers.
was like,
yeah.
where the hell is all of this coming from? Hilarious, but holy shit.
VP in the house. What about them Cinnabons, though? Cinnabon monkey.
Since Samurai is lurking, I call him Captain R. I wonder if he knows why.
I'll call him Shield Monkey.
And it's all out of love, but I think it's hilarious.
I'm going to try to do this the way Davey does it. Milo.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I've probably fucked that
Yeah,
up.
you probably did.
Hi. Hello.
I can't say it.
I know.
I'm going to be good. VP's in the house.
VP.
And like you said, Blade Runner came and joined us.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
America and the UK together, side by side. That's right, Oklahoma.
Uncle Chrome coming from always the sunny Maryland, even in the winter. It's always
It's
sunny.
always sunny.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Drunken monkey in the house. Synth cat, aka Tron dog.
Tone Smith.
We got some renegades lurking up in this beyond.
Mhm. Yes.
Don't forget, Synth Samurai has the Kumite tonight.
And then right before that is the tailgate party with
It's the tailgate party with Uncle Jerry's World. The Kumite.
Yeah, there was something else I wanted to tell him last night when we hopped in, but I completely forgot. Cornish Waves Music.
Cornish.
Biscuit.
Biznick. Cosmicos.
Yeah. You're new. I haven't seen you here before, unless you changed your name like many of our other people. Welcome.
Yeah.
If you've been here before, well, you know the drill.
Robbie's in the house. Everybody say hi. What's up to the failed musician?
What up, Robbie?
Hi, failed musician.
Even Robbie last night was like, oh my God,
For
with
fuck's
these
sake.
jokes.
Yeah, Robbie came with some raunchy ones too.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's funny is...
He didn't have any Italian jokes.
No, he didn't. But like sometimes truth can be funny and it can hurt all at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask Uncle Jerry about that. His back was hurting the entire time yesterday.
Poor Uncle Jerry. Oh, look, Moser's in the house.
The faithful brother. So for those of you who don't know, Moser 505 is my twin brother. He's the bass player
Who normally sits. Over
right there.
Over there.
And yes, we are identical. And yes, it's not Monkey Island until he is back in his monkey chair, behaving like a monkey
It's
untamed.
a half of an island.
It's half an island right now, ladies and gentlemen. Monkey Island is not complete.
And then you are Lamont, who is also known as Trusto 101.
I am Lamont, also known as Trusto 101. I
Yeah,
said
and
that extra version white, didn't I?
Extra, yeah, yeah.
We got the crazy rabbit in the house. Don't listen to anything that motherfucker has to say.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's crazy. He's telling you his name is
It's
Crazy
crazy.
Rabbit.
Yeah, so why would you listen to
Don't
it?
look past it, people.
Yeah. If you see symptoms of reality in your chats, in your live stream, or in your comment box, it is I.
It is high. Today we are interviewing.
Me.
We are interviewing ACEF today, ladies and gentlemen.
Biscuit
Mr.
said,
Eyes himself.
Biscuit said, I hope no Jews people saw it last night.
Damn it, Biscuit.
Stop reminding us. We're trying to put that in the
Are you trying to get us caught, sir? You know, Biscuit, you're that one Jew that was underneath the
stop it.
basement floor who couldn't
Okay,
keep his mouth shut.
I'm muting
so
you.
you got
I'm
cooked.
muting you.
You
I'm
got
muting
cooked.
muting you. You have been muted. Jesus.
I'm sorry.
All right. Are you ready to introduce our next victim? I mean, guest.
Hold on. Colonel Sanders, Keith and Wofford just
Keith and
walked in. Cornish Wave Music.
I said that.
Last Friday, Popcorn Night Jam.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
You dropped some bomb track and then you bounced and didn't even watch yourself play because you
Because-
just knew
Because he knew it was
that shit
badass.
was fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good on you, Cornish.
Temporo Bodo.
Temporo Bodo.
Temporo Bodo.
I hope we're not butchering
Welcome. We probably are. At
Yeah.
least I am. I know I am.
I see him in like James Dyson's comments.
Oh, nice.
And I think I see him in PSN comments as well.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Hope we don't scare you away.
Hopefully we don't. Hopefully you have thick skin because here in America, a
Okay.
lot of us don't
Hey.
have thick skin.
Hey.
Some of us
Hey.
became.
Okay, now you're muted again. Nope, you're muted. No, because that's the only way I can control you. That or a shock collar. You pick. Whichever one you want.
It's fine. I won't say anything else.
Bullshit. Okay. How about we invite our guests?
Yeah, let's
shall
do
we?
that.
Let's
Let's
not
do
be
that.
so rude
Yeah, let's not be rude.
and keep them backstage waiting this whole time.
Yeah, let's keep him backstage and talk to him.
What? Oh.
Hello.
ACEF.
Yeah, buddy.
Our brave new victim. I mean guest.
All right. Forward on with the Jewish jokes.
Man, did you see last
I'm a
night?
big fan of Black Jesus.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Who is
Huge
it?
fan.
Yeah,
Right? Who
yeah.
not Jesus Christ. I mean, I can't say that. I'm sorry, Black
Black
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Black Jesus Christ.
No, I didn't see it last night, so I'm going to go back.
Oh my God. Just, fast forward towards the end where the jokes start.
Yeah. You might want to leave now, Tone Smith. Hurry up and go now.
Oh man, it was outrageous, but can't ask for jokes and got jokes.
Yeah. Well, Kent Spong is people don't know this. I'm a protege of Kent Spong. I don't even think he noticed.
I don't think Kent knows this.
That's very similar.
He sensed when the politics were getting a bit much. He said, "For fuck's sake, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
It's joke time, and let's tell the worst jokes ever because it's
Better than the politics.
It's better than the
Exactly. Exactly
Which
right.
is kind of awesome, right?
right.
Yeah.
Back.
And man, were they bad.
And man, they were. Well, David, you were there.
I think Panda's officially canceled.
Yeah, I'm sure Panda and his wife are.
And
officially
no,
canceled.
they voted not to cancel her.
Oh,
But they
that's
did
right.
vote to cancel Panda.
It's an embarrassment.
He was all on his own.
Oh my God, ACEF, it's I didn't see this coming. My crystal ball, my synchrotron crystal ball, which have stolen many of dreams, did not see this coming today. And thank you for confirming
It's
to
coming.
fill the void.
Yeah, was excited when you were like, yeah, I can do it. I'm like, yes.
Because I do believe Apollo Hanzo was supposed to be in a hot seat today, but he wanted to wait till
Till Lamar.
Moser got back.
Because he had
Yeah.
some stories or something like that that he said
Oh, yeah.
both
I
of
don't
you
care
had to be
about.
there.
Yeah, whatever. Lamar. I don't
Yeah,
care about
who
that.
needs that?
He's like,
Who needs that
That
bass
dude's-
player anyway?
Oh, yeah.
They're disposable anyways, right?
Yeah. Tell you something.
At least James Dyson would agree.
Yeah, Fingers is a different character. Wait till we get
Poor
him
Lamar
mic'd up. Yeah.
with James Dyson that one night. Jesus.
Oh my God, ACEF, my
Ah,
friend.
look, Lamar goes, "What the fuck, David?"
Oh, I know he's there. I thought we were friends.
He's like, "What? Come on, man."
Oh, shit.
It's always fun to make fun of
Yeah.
somebody when they're not here to defend
Right?
themselves, right?
Yeah.
Well, I
it's
was
the only way
pissed off when I didn't see him over there. I was like, "Where's that motherfucker?" I was like,
Yeah. No,
He-
you can say motherfucker. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
he
Oh,
fucked-
okay.
he
Yeah, you're
fucked
good.
up. Do you not hear the shit that comes out of my mouth?
Clearly, he was not here last night with all the jokes.
We will not, in the famous words of Crazy Rabbit, we will not be tolerating double standards. Goodbye.
No, yeah.
Rabbit know what I'm talking about with that.
Yeah.
That was secret.
Biscuit said in a comment, he said, "We're all canceled." Yes, we are.
Yeah, go down together.
Oh shit. Okay.
But if you can't be yourself, right? What's the point
What
in
is the
being?
point? What's the point? What's the point?
Yeah. You got to be yourself.
Yeah. I'm not wearing your clothes.
Nope.
Go fuck yourself.
Unless you're, or I'm not in your skin unless, who was the guy who killed everybody and wore their skin?
Yeah, that's actually been done.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's
Hannibal
his-
Lecter? No.
Jeffrey
Texas
Dahmer or something?
Texas Chainsaw.
Bomber. No,
Dahmer?
Dahmer.
Yeah.
Dahmer.
Oklahoma
Dahmer.
Bomber?
Shit.
Like, which one was it?
Yeah.
Dahmer.
Well,
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer ate people. He didn't
And-
wear them.
No, I thought he wore them too.
Texas Chainsaw. What was Texas? What's the do with the chainsaws? Leatherface. He
Leatherface.
he wore a motherfucker properly.
If you go in someone's house and you see like 3 refrigerators and like
Run.
a freezer,
Yeah.
get the hell
Run.
out of there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go.
And they can actually fit a human quite perfectly. Run.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's wild right there.
If they're industrial size ones, Just leave.
Leave it to white people to be doing crazy shit like that.
leave.
It's
Yeah,
always the white people.
It's always the
Always.
white people.
It's just pent up whiteness.
exactly.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. Y'all got to find
Exactly.
other ways to relieve the pressure. Like, this is crazy.
Man. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. ACEF, buddy, let's get this show started. 3 hours or 2.5 hours is
Goes
not,
by
it's not enough time.
Fast.
So
All right.
let's dive in this. Sir, where has the ACEF train been going? Where has it come from? More importantly, you know the deal. Take us all the way back. But before you do, let me say these words.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to the podcast. And today we have ACEF Stripe, who's going to be quite right. With Marmite.
With Marmite. Oh, I love that. I love that.
And he's got all kind of toys in there. You see, this guy never grew up.
I love that.
This is one of your friends' house that anybody ever see the toy by Richard Pryor? That's ACEF's little bit shit right there.
I'm sure we will get to this. But Lamar beat me to it. There's an act that I hear there. Where are you from?
White America.
White America.
Specifically,
No, I'm
what
sorry.
state?
I'll stop.
No, don't stop. No. Specifically, what state in white America? Because I hear
that would be all the redwoods.
Yeah,
Oh.
I hear a prominent
Okay,
accent there.
Yeah. What
It's
is that?
Baltimore. It's
Baltonian.
So
So,
you're in Uncle Chrome's neck of the woods.
so my mom and dad, I had a Yankee dad and a Southern Belle mama, and that's the truth. And those were real things. But yeah, I got the Baltimore side of the accent.
I was going to say
That sounds
very
funny. I like it.
inappropriate.
Some people like it. Some
joke.
people say it's
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah.
I
I don't know about sexy, but I like
No,
it.
but just suggesting it.
Yeah.
I was going to say a very inappropriate joke, and should I dare?
Yeah, we've gone this far. I
Let's
don't,
try it again.
Racist
Ready?
as hell.
Some people say it's sexy.
Oh no, it wasn't that joke. No. You had a Southern Belle mom and a what
yeah.
kind of dad?
Yankee.
Yeah, and I said, "Oh, I bet they owned black people too, huh?"
Well, that's what you guys accused me of when you did my first song. Lamar accused me of what? Possibly. He didn't say it directly. He said possibly owning slaves. And then he ripped
Possibly.
about something about hoarding my money. And I was like,
so Southern Jew.
There you go.
and I was like, well, I'll put my little rap coins away.
So where was David?
Oh,
Little,
yeah, we
little
didn't
tiny
start.
David when he was a young kid. How did that
What
look
was
like?
going on in the household?
Oh God, you don't want to go there. No,
No, but we
I was
do.
born in Baltimore. Well, no, oh God, that was going to be a bad joke. All right.
Yeah, see?
See?
They're all over the place.
Oh God, it's going to be good though. No.
Just go ahead, do it. Just
No,
just say it.
that one has to just come out of me or else.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, I said you own black people. Like,
Yeah,
what's
I
the
don't know
worst
how
about
much
that?
harder it could get. Yeah.
Possibly owned them.
Allegedly.
There was a lot of farmsteads, a lot of open land.
Oh, shit. A lot of tobacco barns, too.
Okay,
huh?
there was
moving on.
there.
We're gonna get in so much trouble. All right, where'd you grow up?
So yeah, I grew up actually, I guess you would say kind of Southern Maryland,
Mhm.
but it wasn't too far from DC. So yeah, DC's is my true home, I guess. And I spent most of my teens, because you could drink at 18,
Damn.
going into the city, and that's where I played most of my music. That's where I saw most of my music. So things like go-go are something that are special to me. Along with obviously a lot of rock and different types of styles of music. So yeah, I grew up there. It was
Were your parents into music or playing music?
oh
or
yeah, so
musicians.
that's a good question. So it was, Yeah, they were. My dad was a big band musician, so he went to music school and after college or before college, and he was a big band guy that could write all the parts for the clarinet, the saxophone, and all that. Played piano.
Wow.
He was a semi-pro, and but he was also a practical guy, so he got a just on the side. He got a civil engineering degree, raised the family. My mom was a writer, so she wrote poetry and stuff like that. My dad was also a painter, and I don't really have much around right now, but most of what ACEF Stripe, the idea behind ACEF Stripe was it was what I called an imagined collaboration with me and my dad mainly.
Oh, nice.
So I would use a lot of his artwork as the cover work, or sculptures and stuff. And then I'd kind of I don't want to say I wrote the music to the painting because that would be a lie. I used it as kind of a inspiration and a way to kind of channel the artistry, I guess, for not sounding too cheesy. And then I've done the same with my mom a little bit, used some of her writings and some of her artistic. So they were both really into music. Different.
Did you
totally
ever
different
use
form.
any of your mom's writings in lyric form?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice.
I will be honest, I don't have the greatest voice, so a lot of
Mhm.
times I had really nice concepts, I thought, musically kind of, but when my voice kind of came in, I was like, "Where's freaking Earl Jones or something?"
You're
You
like, I
know,
need somebody else for this.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
still did a little bit of it. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've definitely so, but the big inspiration was my dad's artwork and his mainly his he did a lot of kind of abstract art.
Mhm.
Well, he also did a lot of Catholic religion stuff, but he had a nice phase where he was really into this abstract, where I think is really was his sweet spot as a artist, and he would do a lot of kind of imagery and all of the textures and stuff. And as a kid, it kind of blew my mind. You'd walk by it, kind of like, whoa, I don't know what that is, but it's cool,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Do you have any pictures you could show us right now? Anything
Oh
nearby?
God,
Or
I wish
I
I
mean, we
could.
could
You can't.
wait.
Nah, I probably
No.
could, but see stuff like that. Can you see it?
Oh,
Like the artwork.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Let
that's
me
like,
hold on. Keep it there. Keep it there real quick.
sorry, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of turning it. But see how that's kind of what I'm talking about, like just
That's
colors.
really
And you could start
nice.
seeing things in it,
Yeah,
right?
you can. I see a
Yeah, and
unicorn, a
yeah, I see that
horse.
too
You
right
saw
now.
the
Isn't that
unicorn?
weird?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
see it
see
right
it
there
over
to the
there.
left.
Oh yeah, it's freaking me out because I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I guess the point is,
That
he
was
would,
really cool.
yeah, he would put stuff in it intentionally, and then you would also find things. So
So
kind of
like
the,
pareidolia almost, like you can
Yeah, like that unicorn.
yeah, yeah. So
mm,
yeah, your kind of imagination kind of goes. I'm trying to think.
mhm.
Man, I just don't have much in here right now.
Oh, I see a kitty in the back
Oh,
trying to
there's a
get
lot of
in.
cats. No, they want
Yeah.
in. You don't want them in. I don't want them in. Um,
It's like, no, no,
I
no,
love them.
no, no.
Yeah. So for me, that abstract art, it took me a while to kind of channel, put it all together. But I realized when I was writing music, because I wasn't a trained, even though my dad was very trained, I wasn't trained.
Hmm.
But I realized I was creating, and I wanted to be a painter, but I didn't have that drawing skill. Not saying I
Hmm.
couldn't have, probably tried, but
Yeah.
I just decided I couldn't. I kind of used
So
that.
you set limitations for yourself.
Yeah, I was kind of making a joke of
Yeah,
it. Back,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
back in the days where either you were really good at something or you
Right,
didn't do
right.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
are you a piano player? Like, can you play blah? You can't.
yeah,
You weren't allowed to just noodle on things. You were
yeah.
either,
Set limitations for
yeah.
folks was the worst thing ever,
Oh, we
Mhm.
were terrible about
right?
it. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so artistically, that was kind of like a light went off at some point, and I started to realize that I was creating music kind of in that form of um, sketching pieces,
Hmm.
not getting too caught up in the details, and kind of just
Enjoying it.
laying it out there, and then hopefully people go, "Huh, that kind of like." Wow, that kinda made me feel something a little, like, it
Mhm.
was kinda sad and
Right.
somebody like, no, it was kinda happy though too, it was weird. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. So
What was
yeah,
your
that's been the idea.
first?
Yeah.
What was your first piece of music instrument?
So I started as so I had three well, I still do, three older brothers. And one of my brothers played drums, so
So it's
I
4 boys in the
and two
family
girls, yeah.
and 2 girls.
A lot of monkeys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Wow.
lot of monkeys.
White
You-
monkeys.
That
but
they call that an embarrassment
I don't know what they
for
yeah.
pandas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Trouble. Here come the white monkeys. There's 6 of them in that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll stop. But
Oh man.
Goddamn Ringling Brothers.
Yeah, right.
they were big monkeys too. But I was the run of them,
Right.
So I would just kind of go front, start something, and run away. But
Yeah.
no, so I started kind of banging on the drums, right? And I always kind of the piano was always there. So I kind of feel like if you really love music or you're really into it, you just kind of find it,
Mhm.
and I just couldn't get off the piano all the time. And then I kind of started playing drums as a teenager. And then one day I guess I got in school and I said something about playing drums and they said, "Oh, you're a drummer." The next thing I was over like at someone's house, like, behind a kit, right? And everybody's like, "All right, go," and luckily I could at least go do 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 do. And it was like, whoa, then I got labeled a drummer. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that was great. Trust me. That was cool.
You got all the
Like,
girls,
I went from
right?
like
Drummers
some
got all the
skinny
girls.
kid,
Yeah.
well, he's a drummer. Like he's got an identity,
Right. Yeah.
No, so I
Yeah.
played in bands and stuff and took a break for a while, had a failed marriage, and then got back into music in my late 30s, kept playing drums. I never was a great drummer, but
Mhm.
In my opinion, but I got to play in a lot of recordings
Yeah.
and people were always, I got to play in a lot of bands and got good enough, I guess I would
Mhm.
say, that I
Yeah.
could get up
Yeah.
on the stage
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so anyways, I did that for a long time and in between there in the early 90s, techno got really big. And
Oh yeah.
it was hitting all the cities. So I was obviously in DC and I was hanging out really we had one place we went to called Tracks and it had what they called a straight night where we would all go in there, just kind of the cool, what I'd call the cool kids at that time.
Mhm.
And because we didn't care, we just, and they're playing this music and we're just like, what is this stuff, man? Like, we are not hearing this anywhere else.
How old are you at the time?
Oh, early 20s,
Okay.
so college, around college age. And I stayed home for college, so
So you stayed in Maryland for college?
stayed in Maryland. Yeah.
Mhm.
Maryland.
Yeah. We weren't a really wealthy family by any means. We were kind of
Are
hanging
you
in there.
currently still in Maryland?
No, I'm in Colorado now. I moved out here about 10
Oh,
years.
nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. So before we get too far into the
Sorry,
future
I'm
of
just
this,
blabbing.
yeah, no worries. Let's walk back towards the childhood a little bit more.
Okay.
Were there did your parents host like house parties and stuff? And
Oh,
if they
so-
did, what was the music? What
Okay,
was going on?
so this is cool. They didn't. But what was cool
Mhm.
was my dad in particular would do art shows. And he would put up, and this is kind of semi-rural back, let's say 80s, kind of in that area, there wasn't as developed. He would put up these signs saying art show. Okay, so and you would go, people would come in our backyard, he'd have all his artwork, right? And he would sell some and that was very different. There was like nobody doing that, like anywhere that I knew of, right? And it was really cool. And then my brothers, one of my older brothers would have jam sessions in the basement with his like cool friends. Now they were about 10 years older, my oldest brother, right? So they're down there playing like some hardcore, loud ass fucking Hendrix inspired, shit like Zappa. Like they're really, they're shredding, right? And so it was all around me for sure. We were a very, music and art, all that was kind of part of our.
So do all the siblings play some sort of
All the
music?
all the boys did. One of the boys, I'm not sure if he's still playing any drums, the one,
Mm.
but the other two are definitely still playing.
And what
um,
did they play?
guitar. Mainly, both of them are guitars.
Oh,
You know,
nice. Okay.
yeah. So
And
drums.
the sisters, do they play anything?
No, maybe a little bit more writing and things like that, but not
Mm.
not the music side. And I don't know, it might have been some of the dynamics in the family. Just
Hmm.
kind of the boys are really domineering types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you
we
grew up poor, so I mean,
not
you
yeah
you you. I
yeah
mean, I
relatively
don't
yeah no I
relatively.
wasn't yeah no that's fine. I
Hmm.
don't want to like label us as some poor guy
Right.
rose above
Well,
it.
shit, I grew up poor, so I
Paycheck to
mean, but
paycheck. We were
it
Paycheck to
wasn't dirt
paycheck. Yeah.
poor,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were paycheck to
Hmm.
paycheck
yes.
as you know,
If
young teenagers.
dad had lost his job, we would have been cooked.
Yeah.
Really? So
Cooked.
Yeah.
you guys were riding the line.
We were riding the line. We looked all
Hmm.
right on the surface, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
of maybe where we lived, it was kind of. But we always drove these. My dad always had to buy these clunker cars, so it
Hmm.
was really funny because we'd have to get these like cars for like $500, and everybody else had kind of nicer cars,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and I would like hide it in the back when we go to the store. There's a level of humility,
There is. There
that was
is.
good. It was
Hmm.
good for it. Good for
Yeah.
us.
What did that okay, so what was the what did the parents instill in the kids, like especially growing up with not having a lot? I get it for for firsthand experience, but what was it like with the parents? Were they trying to hide things from you, like where it's not that bad? Did they try to give you a worry free childhood for all the kids and everything?
Yeah, they certain. It's a complex question, but I'd say financially, yes. Yes, they definitely were not, um, they weren't really trying to, I don't know if we kinda thought there was anything else, to be honest with you.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think we
Hmm.
really understood that other people might have cash in the bank,
Right.
right? And
Hmm.
we sorta sensed it, like, they kinda seem like that car looks nicer. They don't seem as you know what I mean? We were a little messy,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
That's the only way. Like, you drive down the street, we were kind of one of the messy houses.
There's
And I mean
nothing wrong
messy
with
just
messy. Ask Cressy.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the clunkery cars, the
Yeah.
kinda we just weren't as, polished
Yeah.
by any
Hmm.
Well,
means.
like Lamar say, humble beginnings really make the person, right? It really, as you get older, really makes you appreciate things a
Hmm.
little bit
Oh, yeah.
more
Yeah.
and not take things for
Yeah.
granted.
Oh, yeah.
You're okay. So in the household, when you it's almost like you don't miss what you don't have
Right.
in
Yeah.
many ways.
Hmm.
Um, what did that teach all of the siblings and yourself when you were growing up into your teens?
Hmm.
Did it kind of say, hey, look, this is where we came from, and we want to do our best not to live that experience or let our kids go through something like that as we get older in this life?
Well, I would we were brought up told generally to kind of do what you wanna do,
Hmm.
which be who you wanna be. So there wasn't a lot and maybe I'm gonna get to that. We were there wasn't a lot of pressure put on us to be uber successful.
Hmm.
You need to be this, you need to be that. Except
Hmm.
maybe the oldest who kinda definitely felt a
The pressure.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, um, so we weren't traumatized. I've let's say I've seen like let's say with my wife, I think her side of the family had a period where they were on food stamps and they were
Hmm.
traumatized, right?
Right. Yeah.
Where money became very precious. Money's not like precious to me. I can't explain it. Like I'm not really fearful of being poor,
Hmm.
Hmm.
um, because poor to me was not a horrible experience.
Monetary.
Yeah. So to
Hmm.
answer your
Yeah.
question, Mark,
Yeah.
it didn't. I never felt the fear of being poor. Now I felt it as I got old, like as an adult, I
Hmm.
started to feel like, good God, how did that do this? Like, how did
Yeah.
that, how did they like
The stress
Yeah.
on
How
them,
were they
right?
the
able to keep the
stress? Like, it's
family
like
Yeah.
together? Yeah. With the
yeah.
six kids,
Yeah.
that says a lot
That's
about your parents.
yeah.
But
Oh
that
yeah,
goes back to
superstars.
like Lamar's comment where he said like humble beginnings make the person. I think when you do grow up with not a lot, it really makes you appreciate what's not able to be bought by money.
Yeah.
Right?
No, Marilyn.
It
Yeah.
yeah, it makes you appreciate your family,
Mm-hmm.
your friends, your spouse, the time that you have
And
to
you could truly live
spend with
without
that.
things.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't make you fearful of not having. Now, when you grow up with having everything at your beck and call, those other things may go, to the wayside if you're not brought up with certain, like, well, just because you have this doesn't mean you have to ignore this part of your life.
Yeah. I think. Well, there's a baseline, right, that you kind of want to reach of your parents, right? And if the
Mm-hmm.
baseline's pretty low, um, in some ways, the pressure's off of you.
Right. Yeah.
That being said, there's a fine line there,
Yeah.
There's a real fine line,
Mhm.
and I kind of realized that we kind of just got skated by just by the skin of our teeth, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm really grateful for having a very artistic type of childhood, where some of the kids didn't have that. You could just see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
Mhm.
definitely, and while it was a little bit, um, the thing about when you send yourself from an artistic or creative kind of place, it's kind of like you're more rooted if you're a plant. Your roots are a lot deeper and you can survive a lot longer because you have such a great foundation to kind of exist off of, right? It's
Mhm.
like you never master it.
Yeah.
It never ends. It's just there, for you. Um, so that was a real blessing. And that's not to say we didn't have some, like, there's a very dark side to my family. But
Don't we
that
all have them?
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
it really, really bad and kind of like, and that gets into a little bit of being a little more humble about, appreciative. The key is to, um, I don't know, how do I put it? Kind of separate yourself from it in the sense that that wasn't you.
Mhm.
It was just the events, or
Mhm.
this
Right.
person
Yeah.
is that person. Kind of like with your parents, right? I'm not them,
Right.
but I came from them, and you got to kind of be careful. You got to
Mhm.
be your own person. So this is, ACEF Stripe is kind of like me taking some of the most amazing things that my parents gave me and my dad gave me, and just putting a light on it and saying thank you, really, every day, for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Are your parents still with you?
no, I
No.
haven't
They're
had 'em.
both passed?
Yeah, they've been gone for a while. So,
Mm.
How long ago has that been?
ooh, you know, uh, mom maybe 15,
Oh, wow.
20. No, mom's about 20 and dad's about 15, I think. Yeah. So
Wow.
it's been a while. So,
Mm-hmm. How old are you, Asif?
I'm 57. Yeah.
57.
What? You look
Yeah.
You
like you're
look
I
fucking
great.
know.
barely
Everybody says that.
You
like
look
knocking on
great.
40.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let's stay in a little bit of the
What
childhood
do you
era.
eat all day long? Do look
Yeah,
50
just
no, I'm just
coffee.
kidding. Okay,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
just
probably
sleep.
monkey poop
Sleep and
coffee.
throw up, like I
Yeah.
told you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for real.
Um.
I don't throw up much.
Yeah, look, Lamar says looks young as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Nah, I
surprised.
just look. It's the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stay in the childhood era. What were some of the TV shows you would watch as a young kid?
God.
Did you
Yeah.
ever watch Land of the Lost and
Yeah, I
fucking?
watched some of that. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love
Oh
Land of the
yeah.
Lost. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I just remember Sunday morning and there was just some wild shit on. It was either Tarzan or fucking
Oh my
like
god, I
Land of
love
Lost. And
Yeah.
Tarzan.
there was
Yeah.
some really wild stuff that
Hanna-Barbera was out of
Yeah.
control then too.
Super real quick, Matt Evans has a very touching message for ASIF.
Mhm.
okay.
57,
Oh, okay, yeah.
bastard.
No.
You look years younger than me.
Easy, Matt. Just sit on your couch and vape, sir. You're doing fine.
You're fine.
You're
You're
doing
good.
fine.
You're
You're
good.
doing fine.
You're good. Yeah.
But yeah, what were some of the cartoons? Where were some of the shows at at that time that was like,
God.
man, it's this life, and I have
Well,
fond memories of those.
yeah. Well, I liked well, I really loved Mr. Rogers.
Hmm.
Now, and I'll tell you, I loved Mr. Rogers because his world was so different than the world I was living in. His world looked peaceful and just easy and calm. And I lived in a house that was fucking not any of that,
Yeah.
right? It was
Mhm.
chaos, almost 24/7, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
So I had like,
Chaos builds character.
Hmm.
definitely makes you adaptable. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you grow up kind of in survival mode, you know how to survive.
David's like, oh, you're bitching about that? Please.
Yeah. Were you still like
But I
into
don't like to judge people. Yeah.
Were you into black and white movies at all? I mean, I know that was still like a thing probably growing up, but
Oh,
do you go
I'm
back on
into that.
those?
I go back with them now.
Mhm.
So I've been spending the last 4 or 5 years. I like all this Hitchcock and anything that has Boris Karloff or any of those
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Vincent Price. I watch everything they've ever done because it's brilliant.
Uh-huh.
But I'll watch any old movies, any black and white movies, just because they're kind of historic. And I don't
Uh-huh.
mean historic in the sense they're just old. I mean they're
Just
like,
nostalgia, right?
you
Yeah.
kind of watch them talk sometimes and do things, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I
that would
used
not
to-
fly in today's
Oh,
society.
yeah. Oh, Married
maybe on
with
Symptom
Children.
of Reality, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
Married with Children would be canceled
Yeah, Married with Children.
immediately.
Yeah.
You know,
but the honeymooners, like, do you remember the honeymooners?
Honeymooners would be canceled
Oh,
too.
God.
Like Ralph would be locked in
Instantly.
jail just on the act of not even
Instantly.
committing
Yeah.
the things
But
he
what
would
about
say.
what was the Andy Griffith? God, Otis.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Otis would just like Otis was the best character ever. 'Cause
Right.
He took care of himself, right? He's like, look, I'm a piss poor
Mm-hmm.
drunk or whatever, but he would come stumbling in there, get the key, you know,
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
it back on the thing. I
Yeah.
love Otis.
Twilight Zone.
Right.
Crazy
Oh,
Rabbit.
Crazy
Yep.
Rabbit, the
Yeah,
Twilight Zone.
That was a good black and
Yeah,
white.
that stuff was good. All that, like, really, when they got into that kind of cool, like, sci-fi stuff. But when I
Mhm.
got to like teenage years, by then we never had cable or
Mhm.
any of that really cool stuff.
Did you have the bunny ears? We had the bunny ears.
Yeah,
growing
we
up.
had bunny ears.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, you had to go over to the TV and adjust it, and then and hope when you let go, it stayed.
Yeah.
like things like the Muppets were things that were like,
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Muppets.
I remember
yeah.
like being in the basement and my parents and like, you know, again, our family was a hot mess. But
Mhm.
but we could get together and watch the freaking Muppets for an hour,
Yeah.
right? And we
Oh,
came
that's
together,
awesome.
all of us, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Freaking Muppets brought us together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing though,
It's
that
true,
you
yeah.
can like at least go back in your memory bank and be like, this is what brought us together.
Right. And that's why I
Yeah.
And
asked
then
those questions.
and
'cause
have
it's so
such
much,
a great memory.
right?
Of it.
So much
Yeah.
rich memory. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got angry. Well, I did go through an angry phase, you know.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You can imagine, teenager, young, you know.
Yeah, the
But
hormones go
I
crazy.
never yeah, I never framed it that way. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just wasn't. It was sad, you know, pathetic. You know, I kind of looked. That's how I saw things more. I've always been. One of the reasons I like became an artist and everything. I was kind of the youngest. I was the observer.
Mhm.
I watched it all, right, and just kind of, and I was always there. Like
So
when
you were the
everybody
baby
else,
of the family?
yeah, I was the baby.
Okay.
And as everybody was leaving, I was still there,
Yeah.
right? I stuck it out to the end. So I saw a lot, you know, and my context was a little different.
Yeah.
Right.
You were able to learn from mistakes and experiences.
Yeah, and I kind of adapted and I don't know, you know, I was lucky. I had a lot of really cool friends in the neighborhoods, and we would we used to have a lot of fun, you know. We
You know what show I remember back from the day? The Love Boat.
Oh, I was going to bring that up. I was
Yeah.
going to bring up, yeah.
Boat.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we were more pop pop culture. So Love
Yeah.
Boat, Fantasy
Mhm.
Island.
Fantasy Island, yeah, which
The
came right
Yeah.
after
I
the
love-
Brady Bunch.
I don't even
Gilligan's
know what-
Island.
Yeah.
Like if you say Love Boat, I go, God, I love that show. I'm like, what was it about? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Just
was
Love Boat. I just
it
so
was
happy to see
about following the guests that came on the cruise.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they would have
Mhm.
these, yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone was different, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. Oh,
But-
Lamar said Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne
Oh
and
yeah, I
Shirley.
watch that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Squiggy. Remember
Yeah,
Squiggy?
Squiggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
What
God.
was it? Two's Company too?
Three's Company.
Three's
Oh yeah,
Company.
Three's
Yeah.
Company.
Jack Tripper and the Regal
Okay.
Beagle.
I love Jack Tripper.
You know
yeah.
that would
I was like, he had a
completely
good
be
gig.
canceled.
He had a
Yeah.
good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a son that does really great acting. He's
That's
in
what I heard. Yeah.
he's in a few
He
movies.
was the smartest man in the freaking universe. I'm gonna pretend to be gay and live with the two hottest girls in the building.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. That was
Remember
wild.
Mr. Roper? and
Mr.
and he did that
Roper.
little
Yes.
thing with his hand.
Yeah.
So inappropriate. He'd be like,
Oh,
You
and he would
know,
wag his
yeah, you know, rub a little twat. You
yeah,
know,
dude, none of these shows.
yeah.
None of these shows.
Mhm.
We're living in a society where it's just too
What about,
delicate. You
and
can't have this.
Archie Bunker and then Sanford and Sons.
Oh man,
God, they were good.
so Archie Bunker and George Jefferson would have been fucking canceled.
They would have been in jail.
They had an
Would not have
episode.
understood, would they have? They would
Yeah,
not have
Yeah.
understood.
it was the Jeffersons meet
Freaking
all in the
meathead.
family, and they were. You remember that episode? Where
Yes.
George Jefferson actually went to
Yes.
Archie Bunker's
Yeah.
home, and it was wild.
Wasn't there something I want to say like 5 years ago where they redid Archie one of the Archie Bunker episodes and they did it live?
Hmm.
Like they aired it live,
Oh,
so
they
it was on the
did.
studio.
They did.
Oh.
They,
in
yeah,
front of
they
a
did. I
studio
remember.
audience.
Yes, it was.
It was
a while.
live.
It was a while ago.
Right, it was like
yes.
5 years
And
ago.
they had
right?
a bunch of people come
in and
yeah.
do the characters and stuff, and they showed
Yeah.
how they did it, and how they rehearsed,
Mhm.
and then they went
And they did
live
and they did the
it.
intro song. It was
Everything,
all redone.
literally,
Yes.
like they got the living room to the T, the
Mhm.
stairs, everything. His couch or his love seat that he would
Right.
always, his recliner
Yeah.
that he would always sit in.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
show was so good.
My brother, my
Yeah.
brother and I, we grew up like in a time where we were watching like Heart to Heart and
Oh
Murder,
yeah, Heart to Heart.
Murder She Wrote
I
and
remember her. to her.
MacGyver and the
Matlock.
A-Team.
Matlock,
Yeah.
18 was
Yes.
awesome.
Right? The
18 was my favorite.
Killer.
My
God, I
favorite.
love
Yeah.
that show.
Every time they knocked the shit out of that dude to put him on a plane,
I ain't getting on no plane.
I
you know?
know.
yeah, that shit was
You knew he-
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Knight Rider.
Knight Rider.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's when we grew up. That's when I remember Synthesis at its best too, right? The Knight Rider and
Yeah.
Street Hawk and Airwolf, like
Mhm.
dun dun da 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 da
Yeah.
da. You know that
Or the Knight Riders. Phew.
right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
that was big synthesizer. Star Wars and
Beautiful.
Oh God, man. I remember oh God, what's the one alien movie that came out? Close Encounters.
Close Encounters.
Oh
Yeah,
shit. I went to the theater
It scared the
and
shit
they
out
came
of me.
with they were coming through the road there or something in this
Mhm.
Yes.
it was like thunderous,
Right.
sound, and I was like, oh my God, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
But synthesizers did that to you. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
it.
That's where we were getting it. Like it was kind of like in our subconscious, like they were really pumping them out there, and we were like, well,
Mhm.
it's so different.
Right. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit now. What was your teenage years going into your 20s? What was the first what was the first girlfriend you had? Did she change your mind into who you wanted to be? Was it brain control immediately? Did you start to realize women are
Hey,
fucking horrid at what?
No, you know what?
Okay, go
I
ahead.
was
Sorry.
Oh no, I'm off. No, that's my dad thing.
Yeah.
It's
Enough.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get
Some of
that
the
fucking
big
shock
war
collar
and,
for sure.
Oh man, I was one of those. Oh, it's just so sad. I was just like, you fall in love, and I was just like I was one of those
A
that
lost puppy.
I just couldn't let go of like that feeling like with the first one, and I just
Mhm.
carried it for years.
Yeah.
And I remember even after it ended, after like 6 months, I said, no, I don't want to do it again. You know
Do
what I
you
mean?
do
I
you
didn't want any other, want
Yeah.
anybody else, and I would just say, nope,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
interested.
Do you think that probably was instilled because of the childhood that you had?
It
Such
had
the
to be. I
emotional
was,
chaos within your family? Like you finally found somebody who was all about you, and
yeah,
then poof, it's gone.
I guess, yeah. I know that I emotionally, I bonded so heavily,
Mhm.
and where like a lot of people are just like, yeah, just bounce back. There's all these,
Right,
and
yeah.
I was like, no, I don't do that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Which was really weird. It's like, well, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me,
Mhm.
but I know that that's where I'm at.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
could have been because of the
I'm sure.
how
Yeah,
you
no,
grew
what's
up and stuff. Yeah.
Suppress some stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
just
needed to
instilled
suppress some stuff. Yeah.
some like fears
Just some
that
barriers and some.
Just I
yeah.
think just
Yeah.
just wanting something that, of my own, right?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
just didn't have
Yeah.
anything of my own.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And whatever I had of my own was, yeah, no, I didn't really.
Hand-me-downs and stuff like that,
And
probably.
just even
Yeah.
my own kind of
Person?
space. I didn't
Yeah.
really have
Yes.
mental space,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my
Yeah, with
so
5
my
older
so
siblings, that's hard.
so my mom, I'll tell you this much. My mom was a raging alcoholic. And when she would get drunk, which was almost all the time, she
Mhm.
would go at you and she knew where your buttons were, right? So
Hmm.
she could really
The
get
daggers.
into under your skin, right? Where you did not want people to go. So, in some ways I just didn't have a lot of like, this was like something new, and it was different.
Mhm.
And, but there was definitely an attachment thing that was a little, um, you know, I think just all that. So, but that being said, I had a lot of fun, and there was definitely we were wild kids, right?
Mhm.
We were the kids you hear about that came home at 3 or 4 in the morning. Nobody told us when to come home or anything.
Right.
We stayed out all night. We partied starting about once it started at like 16, it did not stop.
Hmm.
And
Right.
it went full force till, well, into the 20s, right? Even when we were clubbing and stuff. So, and then we kind of just, for me, I got into college and stuff, and I just wanted to get a little serious.
Yeah.
I wanted to get out, and I wanted to kind of, you know, um, I don't know. I just wanted something different,
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the neighborhood now was getting old. It was like, nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
but that, um, yeah, so that's not a good time for me. Other than my buddies and a lot of the fun that we had, I don't
Mhm.
like that period. I don't
Hmm.
really, you can kind of skip from, other than the clubs and some of that experience. I wasn't a happy person from 16
Yeah.
to 30.
Yeah.
That was
Gotcha.
not fun
Did you
for
Mhm.
me.
did you okay, I got two questions. Did you encounter any racism, and if you want to speak about it,
Oh, wow.
what was some of the dark things about the family?
Well, let's go to the racism thing.
Okay.
I'll take racism for
I'll take racism with a
well,
500.
here's a really fascinating thing. So I grew up in PG County, Maryland.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And the PG County, Maryland was the black county
Hmm.
in Maryland, right? It was known as the Black County, and everything that comes with being a black county, PG County got, which meant we didn't get much,
Hmm.
right? And we all shopped in different counties if you wanted stuff, because nobody put stores in PG County at that time.
Mhm.
Or if they did, it was few and far between. But what was interesting growing up, it was a pretty white neighborhood. And then they made a whole new development, and the whole new development was black. And that was probably around 13 or 14. So we saw a lot of change. Um, I grew up, for a long time throughout Maryland. I grew up with black neighbors and very integrated. I look at black folk they mean a lot to me, and I can't really explain it. I feel
Hmm.
they don't necessarily feel it when they meet me, but I feel it,
Right.
because to me that's other than, I didn't have a lot of other cultures or anything. That was the only other culture I really knew. Not that I became some kind of hip hop dude or something. I was
Hmm.
kind of who I was, but I
You grew
yeah,
up with it.
I grew up with it, and I watched it, and I have a lot of. I started to understand. It took me a long time to understand what was really going on under the surface. So there
Mhm.
was a lot of tension in our neighborhood, right? And I'm like, wow, if these guys like be cool with us, right? Why are they? What's all this aggression? And I wasn't understanding the fear. I wasn't understanding their parents telling them, be careful out there. You know, I wasn't thinking that their parents might have had to go to black schools. Um,
Right.
there was a lot I couldn't grasp at the time, but as I got older, I started to. When we moved and had our first kids, our neighbors were most of our neighbors were black. Our first our first baby was delivered by a black doctor, and I guess what I'm saying is I live in Colorado now. I don't live around a lot of black people, but
Mhm.
racism is something that um, it's a real serious subject to me, and
Mhm.
I get really upset listening to.
It's hard not to.
Well, I listen to a lot of white folk that um, brush it aside
Right.
and won't go heavy into it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
If you say, well, what do you feel about Black Lives Matter? Let's say, for example, well, they start wilting. They just can't handle the real heavy stuff,
Mhm.
or they start to go. Not only they only remember like the bad stuff.
Right.
Well, they were pretty mean to us too, Dave. And it's like, yeah, but have you put it together?
Mhm.
Like, or I had one black friend. That whole thing, right? Like that.
Right.
Right.
That's not.
The token black guy in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's not. That's not what we're talking about here, though. We're talking about putting yourself really in that. So I saw a lot. I was lucky. Like we would go down to the river or whatever you want to call it. Cops would roll up, take the beer right from us, take the weed out of one of the kids' pocket, have a little laugh with us, right?
Mhm.
No more of that crap, guys.
Yeah.
We go about our night.
Yeah.
That's the difference,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I started to remember that. I'm like, because we were troublemakers, not real bad ones, but you know, we were out there. It was our playground, right? We were doing all sorts of dumb stuff, right?
Right.
Starting bonfires and freaking
You know,
construction sites.
yeah, it's
No, never going to jail.
yeah,
Never, never.
it's crazy like with the whole racism thing like in the different parts that we moved into like Wyoming and Washington and stuff like that.
Oh
He had
God,
a
Wyoming.
yeah,
Yeah.
he had a farrier business and we had a lot of people tell us, "Oh, don't go over there. Don't do that. And you're black and you're not going to be accepted." We never ever once
Experience.
experienced anything in Wyoming or
Yeah.
Washington.
But we would have if my pants was around my ass and I was a thug
Oh, I was going to say,
looking
yeah,
for trouble.
Yeah.
you have to, right. And that is something,
Mhm.
in life itself. You
Yeah.
you gotta kind of understand, because if we had been, there were some very dangerous, white kids where we lived,
Mhm.
gangs,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
They were multiracial gangs, but they were all very dangerous kids, right?
Mhm.
Then those are the ones that got locked up, that were
Yep.
weapons and stuff. And you could tell after a while because they displayed, so back then the big thing was the all Adidas suit, right?
Oh,
And that
yes,
was
I
Mhm.
a
remember
gang,
that.
that was a gang uh
Affiliated attire.
affiliated thing. Now you may
Yeah.
say, well, I don't know what that gang is. I'm like, it's the kind of gang that does bad shit stuff,
Right.
right?
Right.
Beats the hell of people at parties,
Mhm.
right? Pulls guns on people,
Mhm.
does whatever else they're doing that you don't know about.
Right.
So we weren't that. So in that sense, we were, less trouble, but
Right.
nevertheless, right? I understand when people talk about privilege and what they're talking about.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it is a very, I get really emotional about it personally because it's heartbreaking to me. It's
Right.
heartbreaking that we're still after all this time, we can't figure it out. Right.
Right.
And
But
some of it I know is just human nature. We like to
Yeah.
separate.
I was just gonna say,
Mhm.
I get that.
yeah. But if you want a certain level of respect or a certain level in
You gotta have
society, you
accountability.
you have to have accountability for yourself. And you have to, like, there's a saying that we love to say is, you act like a duck, you walk like a duck,
You get shot like
you
a duck.
look like a duck,
Yeah.
you're going to be treated like a duck.
Yeah,
So
and that's-
there's certain things that you can do in your favor.
Oh, I think there's no doubt. But I'll give you another flip example. Like when I think about the Super Bowl performance, right?
Which we didn't see.
Yeah.
Well, I did, right?
Mhm.
And I've
Yeah.
seen it multiple times.
Uh-huh.
And
Was it bad?
No, it was Kendrick
No,
Lamar.
it-
It couldn't
No,
have
no,
been that bad.
no, it was fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kendrick Kendrick Lamar is not that guy. He's the real hip hop artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was fabulous, but it was not the Super Bowl. It was not a performance for the fans.
Right.
It was an artistic
hmm
event that was also a performance, right?
So that's
And
why people were bitching about it.
they didn't understand it,
Yeah.
and they
Mhm.
certainly did not want to have to understand it.
And that's the thing. I'm glad
That's
you
why I
said
hate
that.
politics and stuff in sports.
Yeah, I'm glad
yeah.
you said that, David, because it's literally the epitome, I think, of racism and anger and, and all this against each other is the understanding portion of it all. Right?
But the thing is, it's like a lot of things. If you can break through whatever that crap is that's holding, where you're holding that anger, it's a whole different world. So when I watched it, I told people, I said, I watch it and I'm very envious because it's intelligent, it's joyous, and it's not for me. But I love it.
Mhm.
And I'm
Right.
okay with that.
Right.
But I'm envious because that joy, the expression that you're seeing is fabulous, right? And
Yeah.
there is a lot of envy, right? It's like, man, they're having a lot of fun. Like, yeah, and they're connected and they're purposeful, and but I also know it's not. I can't take any ownership of it. It's just
Right.
not.
Yeah.
And it's okay, but that's the thing. I think it's important as an artist, you have to be able to look at everyone's art and not feel like you can acknowledge you get envy. You might, like, I always go like, that son of a bitch wrote that song. Like, fuck, and you kind of laugh, you shake your head, you're like,
Right.
oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
what, but it's respect, and it's
Yeah.
appreciation. It's kind of like, man, I wish I'd done that. There's no reason to pretend and say, oh, I don't listen to that music. I don't know anything. I don't care. I don't listen to that. I'm like, dude, it's awesome. When Kendrick Lamar, some of those songs, when they were going, you're like, oh my God, that's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
you're like, good. What do you mean by good? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just electric. And
Yeah,
it's
Right.
you just have to know. When
Yeah.
you know, you
just
know.
know. You just like, just feel it. Like, dude,
Yeah.
don't try to analyze it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what is he doing? Then.
But that's the beauty about music, right?
And the art form
yeah,
of it.
it's not for everybody.
But and then too, you always
like certain genres, it's not for everybody.
you always respect the art.
artist.
Well,
The art, yeah.
the art,
yeah.
and you kind of that's our motto: respect the art and with the artist, because at the end of the day, we don't know how they're truly living. We don't know if we really approve of their lifestyle. But what we do know is the art that they're putting out there. If it vibes with you, why fight it? Because it's good. No one's asking you to respect their personal way of life. Just respect what makes you feel good from the artist.
This will surprise a lot of people, but there are certain songs, not all the songs, that I really like that Slipknot made. And that's a big heavy metal band. Like, it's not something that you would think I would like, but there are certain songs where I'm like, hey, that's really well written and I can vibe on that.
Right.
It's not the crazy, constantly. Like, there's actually some structure to it.
Right.
So it all depends,
Yeah.
I think you can find beauty in a lot of different
Yeah.
genres.
It's like Half God, Half Beast said. A lot of people are just dealing with fear, and they let
Yeah.
fear.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
it's one of the things I had to kind of come to terms with. I've been still thinking about it, that I don't know how to say this. The more comfortable I become with myself,
Hmm.
the more uncomfortable some people in my
Become.
life
Yes.
are with me, with being around me, with listening to me.
Hmm.
And that's heartbreaking to say it, but it's true. And I can't fix it
Hmm.
because it has nothing to do with me, right?
Hmm.
And kind of like what you said earlier, I could try to be, I know how to be what they want me to be, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I just can't do it anymore because it's false
Right.
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel right. And you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, it's really that simple. Um, and yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like I've gone to some heavy metal kind of shows, and
Hmm.
you kind of watch it and you see that drummer like, ah, you know, you just
Yeah.
watch him and you're just like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Hmm.
Like you're like,
Yeah. How do
it's
you do
kind of
that?
fun. It's kind of
Yeah.
fun. I get
I'm
it.
sure there was a lot of
You know
drugs
what I mean?
involved, but back in
Yeah,
the
it's like,
day.
woo. I don't know how you do it like all the time. Like that would kill me as a
Yeah.
person. I'm just too, you know,
Hmm.
I wouldn't want to be that intense, you
Yeah.
know. That would
Yeah.
kill me.
But if you're changing, Asif, and you're starting to become more you, the people
That's beautiful right there
who it,
alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
the people who makes, if you make them feel uncomfortable, the issue is no longer you.
Hmm.
No, it's
The
not.
issue is theirs
Yeah.
now. And a lot of people are, and believe me when I say this, a lot of people are extremely jealous that one person can finally say enough is enough and they're
Hmm.
going to be themselves,
Hmm.
because that is a fear most people can't get across.
Yeah. Yeah. They
No.
can't pass that. They don't have the strength to be themselves.
Yeah, I was reading something to the line that it was about intelligence, but it can go with a lot of things. Like people can't help when they're, especially in a group setting, measuring themselves against what other people and what's happening,
Mhm.
right? So sometimes if you come across in a way that's positive or some way, or maybe just that you have a certain comfort level and they don't, um, it can be a really, you have to kind of feel it. Like, you know, like
Hmm.
you start going, well, why are they not calling me?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I get that a lot. I'm like, why
Yeah.
do these people all not call me? Why am I always calling? Right. And I
Yes.
stop and think about it. And I'm like, and then if you really want to know, you just poke them
Mhm.
about something that you're worried that maybe they're sensitive about. And you watch the reaction. And it tells you almost everything. And it's
Yeah.
Mhm.
really sad
Right.
Yeah.
because usually you go, I knew it.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
go, there's nothing I can do about that. And so,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
but you know, the other side of it is you start finding a lot better people in your life that really, like, this whole community is lights out, unbelievable. And I
Yeah.
know you guys feel the same way.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
It's lights
Absolutely.
out, incredible. It's
Yeah.
I can't even believe it.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, how great it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why like we want to interview everybody in our community, because if we're going to be a true SOAR family, then get to know your family.
Hmm.
Get to know what ticks them, what makes them
We
happy.
all have
Why they're
story.
sad. Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Right.
these are all of our famous people
Mhm.
here
Yeah.
right now.
Asif, when this started happening and you started to see people who they really are, how long, like, did you ask yourself, my God, how long have I been conforming to people's ideations?
Yeah. But I also realized that I was in a survival mode myself, right?
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
there was some value to those relationships, right? The problem was when I needed something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I wanted to shine. And that, so, you know, I even like musically speaking, I was supporting other artists, right? I was a drummer, right?
Yeah.
I didn't write the songs. Um, and I would come into situations and I loved it, right? And I would usually only work with people who I thought were really good songwriters, even though I was not a great drummer. Let's say technically, like I still still had to like believe in what was happening. And so
Right.
I put
Yeah.
a lot of energy into other people.
Mhm.
Some of that came back. Most of it didn't. Um, then so ACEF Stripe and this we kind of coincided with me coming to Colorado because I was definitely separating myself from everything that
Hmm.
I ever had, right? And it was a joint family thing, and it wasn't like I was intentionally trying to run away or do something different. We just had kids a little later than we expected, as I like to say, and we said, where do we want to raise them, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Work be damned, jobs or nobody's making this decision, and we
Hmm.
took it, especially my employer. I got punished hard for relocating, like you know, and I got punished within my own family with some people for leaving, right?
Yeah.
Because they lost something. Instead of just being real about it, saying, man,
Or
you were,
happy for you.
Mhm.
well, that's the other side, right? We can't even get there, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's really hard for most people. It's one of the reasons, again, I come back to these kind of communities. I love shining light on other people, and I know you do too,
Hmm.
right? Both of you.
Yeah.
First time I heard Lamar speak on Kent's show, that was what he started talking about. I was like, man, amen, man. I totally. Now I was like, is he for real? Right. And
Hmm.
then I saw the
Yeah.
show. I was like, okay, he's legit, right?
Mhm.
And that became kind of what, because that's what I was about. I was like, man, I know what it feels like to always be next up, but never be next up,
Right.
right? Oh yeah, we're gonna do that, Dave. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I want to hear what you're doing too, but let's listen to my stuff now.
Mhm.
You always like, you know, we'll get to that, Dave. Let's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just do what you're doing. We're happy with this. So yeah, that's kind of where the label started. Ace of Stripe was just something I wrote down, I guess. I liked it, and
Are
um,
you the only one, as far as like the siblings are concerned, that moved to Colorado?
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, no, no.
everybody else is
One of my
still.
brothers. I'm sorry. One of my brothers left early on to Seattle, Washington.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
I'm not that close with him. I never been out there. Some of that is just weird family stuff, but nobody
Uh-huh.
comes to see me either, so it's fine with me. Like we just
Yeah.
Mhm.
don't. We're like land sailors, I guess. Uh,
Right. So you're in Colorado, you have one in Seattle, Washington, and then everybody else is still in Maryland?
yeah, I think one of my brothers. Well, one of my brothers just went down to Florida, but he was
Oh,
there
gotcha.
almost the whole time too.
Mm.
But yeah, we were. But we weren't in the same neighborhoods, but we were all kind of there. Um, but I also had all the musicians I played with, and it was just a big change. But I
Hmm.
also didn't want to go through my life being fearful of making a change. It was
Yeah.
important to
Yep.
try it. It was important to push myself to be my own artist, to be my own, just to do something else, to not be beholden to other people, because I thought I was
Right.
strong enough to do it on my own.
Mhm.
Luckily, I think I was pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. For all of you who are listening right now, it would do us a great honor if you can all hit the like button and help
Yeah,
share this video.
yeah, please.
This is a great
And then go to
conversation.
ACEF's YouTube channel, which is
Yeah,
pinned on
at
the
the top.
top
So
too.
we have a couple of music pieces by ACEF,
Oh, you
and
do?
when he did a popcorn jam,
Mm, I did that one. Yeah,
I don't know if it was old or you just did it on the fly, but it was a stunning piece, and
it was
it's
older.
it's much like you said. It's not so much about us who run the channel, and I keep saying this all the time. This channel is not us; it's all of us, And our main thing is we want you to be you. Hang up the outside you that you have to keep conforming yourself to be around people, and come in here and forget about everything and submit your music, submit your art, and be who you are. I don't care how you produce music. You can do it all on a glass of water. I don't care how it's done. It doesn't even have to be music, and we say that too. It can
Oh,
be,
that's right.
videos of back in the day of families, and that may inspire someone to take that video and do a music piece to it. We just want people to figure out who they are and leave all of the impressions and leave all of the what people said you are and who you should be. Just leave it for a couple of hours, come in here and deal with yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
And ask questions and be a part of the community.
Yep.
What song are you gonna?
I have the most recent one that was submitted to Popcorn Night.
I know.
It's
terrible.
called A Reunion.
Oh, I
Ooh,
like this.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of sweet.
I really enjoyed it when I heard it. Let me get it queued up real quick.
Yeah, and then ACEF, how the interviews go. After we show the video, we're gonna go off to something else, my friend.
Well, before you do that, I'll
Yeah.
have two
questions.
two questions that
Okay.
are music related,
Yeah.
and then you can go into your little crazy tangent.
And before we go into the crazy rabbit hole of life, is there anyone who has a genuine, serious question for ACEF?
Well, we open up the questions to the chat at 4.
Okay.
So then they'll have an
Okay.
hour to ask whatever.
Okay.
So that way the mods can keep track of the questions. All right. And let me put full screen on this.
Certainly does, John.
And
Oh,
hang on. Why are you playing before I told you to play? Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
I really like that.
You know, when I listen to your music and I watch the
No, it's hold on.
well,
Stop it.
easy there.
Okay, sorry.
So when I listen to your music and I watch the visuals, it is hard not to get a little bit emotional. Because it's almost like, have you ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off when they're playing that one piece of music in the background and they're in the museum and they're staring at artwork,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When I sit there and I watch this piece by SF, and I reflect on your stories as a young person, your siblings, your mother, your father, what life was like, I see it, I hear it, I feel it.
Yeah, it kind of hits different now,
It
right?
hits
Yeah,
different.
and this is why we love these interviews. Tell us about the video on that one.
Well, that one actually was a friend that did that for me, which is pretty not typical that I would do that. But his name's Dennis, and we worked together a long time in bands together, and then even in some electronic stuff. And Red Spells Red is kind of us together. And he mastered that for me. I sent it to him, and he kind of like. It was interesting because he was thinking of doing a label then. He was like, man, this is what I was looking for something. He's like, would you mind if I do a video or two? And I was like, man, that would be amazing. And because I really look up to him artistically, he's just a force of nature. And to have him do something of mine was when I said some gave back and a lot didn't. He was one of the few that actually, he got it. You know, as our friendship went on through the years. So yeah, he did it was beautiful. And I really appreciated the depth I thought he added to what I was trying to do musically. So
yeah, the
super
two
cool.
marry
That was
so
very
well.
beautiful. And we're going to play another one.
Yeah.
Walk me through your...
So real quick before you ask
okay.
him
Go
that
ahead.
question, I don't want to lose these questions. One, somebody asked what was the mixer that you have there?
Oh, right now? Well, there's back it's a Zoom live track in the back, but it looks like it's connected, but that's actually a Mini Brute 2S in front of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a mega super cool.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's connected. I think probably that's why they asked.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
sure.
it does look. And then is that the Octa track? No.
Right here?
Yeah.
No, that's a really old Zoom R8 recorder that I just found some old songs I did on, and I'm redoing them. So I pulled it out because I wasn't in the mood to do any new writing. So kind of Sky is too much work.
Like,
yeah, sometimes you're just like, how did I do all that?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
impossible now to generate that kind of energy.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
There's sometimes where we listen back to songs and he's like, oh, who wrote that? I'm like, dumbass, you did. He's like, I
going
did
on
that.
there.
Yeah.
He's like,
what was I
man,
thinking? Yeah.
what? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
What was the next question?
Those were the
Okay.
only two. So go ahead and ask your question. I'm going to excuse myself really quickly to go use the little girl's room, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. So we're going to play another track.
David, you're in charge. Make sure this monkey stays in order.
No problem.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
nice.
So ACEF, walk me through some of the... How are you in the studio creating? What's a normal day in the studio of, today I'm going to create something that I'm going to love, and this is just the right time and the environment to do it?
So yeah, I kind of have two modes. I'm either just kind of going to be in jam mode, kind of learning new things, the equipment, or I'm in recording mode. So if I'm in recording mode, I'm coming down, and I use the word sketching, and that's really what I do. So I've got 12 tracks on that live track. I used to have 8 on this, and I just start trying to pound out maybe about a few different. I just get something going that I like, whether it's just a progression, some kind of sound, something that's kind of moving me. Like on the song you heard, if you listen Well, you did listen.
Mhm.
There's a Murph and there's a Moog Murph that's doing the bing bang bang.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I pulled that out and I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna make some sketches with the Murph, and I'm just gonna kind of get some kind of you call them beats if you wanted. They just don't have drums in them. But I just sort of created some different ones with the Murph. Um, and then what I do usually is usually about 4 or 5 minutes I'll record it, and I start to kind of just hear a little bit of what I might be doing, and I record everything on the fly. I move things around a little bit. I create a little bit of contrast,
Mhm.
and then I just move on to the next song. And then once I get about 30 sketches, I come back and I listen to everything. I just listen to each one, and I just start yaying and naying them. Or I'm not sure yet.
Right.
Usually about 10 of them out of the 30 get thrown away immediately. I go, no, it's trash. I don't like it.
Mhm.
No. I know it's a little harsh, but that's what happens. Then there might be 10 I go right when I first hear them. I just go, ooh, I like it. There's something.
Yeah.
And I might not decide to work on it. I just finally, I try to get down to 10 to 15, and I go, okay, I'm going to take them to another level, start layering them, and see what happens with them. So
Yeah.
in something like you just heard, obviously I created the main melody, the dun-dun-dun-dun, and that kind of as the kind of a counterpoint to the Murph, and that
Mhm.
sort of just took the song as far as I really needed it to go. And it's all kind of hardware jams, so I can't really go back and clip, and that's the one downside of the process.
Right.
I can't
Right.
go back, and I could, and I'm kind of got some new ways of doing that, but it's a little harder for me to really chop it up
Mhm.
in a way that might be really interesting if I did it. I just tend to go with the original feel and just push it as hard as I can, emotionally,
Yeah.
with the textures and stuff.
Yeah. Do you know when you go to write music, are you aware of what kind of a mental state you're in to where, okay, this is going to be an emotional jam. This is going to be just a solid get up and dance jam. Are you gearing yourself to compose certain things?
Oh yeah. And I'll even yeah, I'm the type that especially if I'm really getting into a more serious mode, the lights will go down. I'll even sometimes drop my head for a few minutes and
Hmm.
just put myself where I want to be. Um Certainly stuff like that, stuff that were on this Renaissance, this was, real heavily about my dad, and kind of even in that piece, it's sort of I'm sort of doing a big band, kind of a sweeping. I'm in my mind, I'm hearing his big band kind of melodies, those big, lofty, sweeping kind of things they would do.
Right.
So I'm thinking in that terms, but yeah, I'm very much um, going. Definitely, I'm very locked in. I do not like to be bothered when I'm in that state, for
Yeah.
sure. Don't
Yeah.
come knocking on the door, please.
Hmm. Yeah.
If that
So,
answers the question, yeah.
so you do have like there's rules the wife knows, like, because my wife, she'll tell you if I hear something, or even my brother, he'll tell you if I hear something, I'm gone. I'm gone probably for 5 hours, and I'm not going to be much of a conversationist, or
Mhm.
I'm just going to be locked in because I hear something in my head that I have to get out. So is there like a rule, like, hey, when you see me in here, much like a person writing a book, just please don't bother me at all?
Yeah, I think my wife understands. Yeah. Certainly if it's something the kids are still at an age where you know how that goes.
Mhm.
They're not they're still they're I didn't tell you their age. They're 10 and 12, so there's going to be interruptions,
Mhm.
maybe, but to your point, yeah. And if and I it you probably understand. I'm sure everybody that's listening understands. I don't come out of it easily.
Mhm.
So when I come back, I'm kind of away still. and I can look like, what's wrong or whatever. And I'm still kind of like, I'm just kind of, my mind's still working on something a little bit, so like,
Yeah.
so it's definitely a state of mind I like to get in. So I'm either in, so I do try to carve the time to do it. Because it is kind of encompassing, to be done the way I want it to be done, which is, to get something out,
Right.
I think we all have a lot to get out all the time. So
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
super cool,
Yeah, and we all want someone to listen.
Oh man, I know. It's nice.
Or just someone to view, just view my art, listen to my art, however you are as an artist. Are you a religious person by any standard?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I was raised Catholic. So I have a framework that Catholics have. The lucky thing for me, I guess, it depends how you look at it. I had a little less strict Catholic schedule as a kid that some of my old, I didn't have to go to Catholic school, let's say, but I'm probably like a lot of artists, not to separate us, but I don't like to get too rigid in whether there is or isn't, or I'm comfortable not knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm comfortable allowing other people to, process life the way they need to process it, as long as it's, realistic and not stomping on people,
Right.
for their beliefs. I don't want the fear. I don't want that. So the spiritual side's beautiful. And, so no, I'd say I'm probably not really, but there's something there just based on how I was brought up.
Because when I listen to your music, and this may be a little long-winded, but I was already in an emotional state this morning. I had a conversation with Scott McCauley Sounds, and we had a conversation yesterday about some of the things we go through mentally, and it was a relief for me to hear Scott has a similar life to what I have, and you find solace in people who share something deep and emotionally that can just destroy your whole construct on life and how you view things, and when you get into a funk, and I'm not saying I equate some of these feelings and these life experiences to whether a person is religious or not, but I am saying the moment your song came on was the moment I really got a little bit more emotional, because you can watch a piece and you can hear something and it will just draw you back to that memory, that place you don't want to go. And I think it's a place where we have to go, even if we don't want to be there. We have to spar the ego, right? We have to spar our ideations and the man in the mirror. Hang on one second. With that being said, do you have any type of understanding as to, like, when you're in this emotional state, when you're viewing something, have you ever thought about, man, this might be a spiritual type sensation with these feelings, that I'm connected to these frequencies and I'm connected to these people that I don't even know from, however X many miles away from the UK to the US? Or do you think it's just something that's natural within the human species? Is it something more to us that we don't understand?
There definitely could be. Is how I look at it. I think you'd agree that music is a really unique art form. It's just spectacular, right? And one of the most important things for me what I'm trying to do the hardest, and the reason that I try to get into that state, I really am trying to channel the best I can those feelings that I'm feeling or
Mhm.
that are there present, and trying to get them through to that song. Um, where they come from, I don't know, but it is I'm definitely humbled by it. I don't understand it. I'm grateful for any moment that I kind of go, I think I kind of got it there, you know. And this is
Mhm.
definitely one of those songs where I felt that. That's why I shared it. I wanted to share something that it's obviously not techno or anything. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't really matter. It just kind of it was there's a truth of me in that song, and it's a song. It's an o- it's a heavy song because it's about a reunion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And you are supposed to conceptualize what that means for you, right? Where that reunion exists is could this be later, right? That we meet again beyond
Mm-hmm.
this existence?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's the kind of feeling I get from the piece, right? It's kind of where I was at when I wrote it. You know, it was um
You were spot on though when you said, I don't know where I was going with this. And you don't always have to know.
No.
Just create what's
mm-mm,
in your soul and your mind and your heart at the moment.
Mhm.
And you get something as beautiful as what David, created. Scotty said music should draw you in either into a good place, solace, difficult headspace, but no matter where it takes you, it's therapy.
Yeah.
And that's so spot on. And Dyson said, music is the tuning fork to our soul.
yeah, no, those are great comments.
Hmm.
I mean, for me, and I don't like to get cheesy about it, but um that's kind of there is a certain self-comfort that I need as a
Hmm.
person,
Mhm.
right? And I've always used music as part of that survival mode.
Yeah.
Um, and now I love the idea of it because I've used other people's music for my own survival mode. I love the idea of um, sharing it, you know, to whatever. It's great when someone just says something like, "Yeah, I was writing this, and I thought about what you kind of the thing you like to do with this, right?"
Mhm.
And how they and it's not necessarily they said, "Oh, your music is great," but they were saying that there was something, you know, you had something stylistically that kinda grabbed me, right? Or there was something that you did that, I said, "Wow, yeah, I wanna try that. I wanna get some of that idea." So I don't know, um, yeah, that's one of my favorites. Not that
Hmm.
like I said, I'm very harsh on my stuff, but when I like something, I do like it, and
Yeah.
I wanna like all the stuff I do, but I just think it's unrealistic.
Yeah. Let me so let's go into a deep thought-provoking topic that I've been pondering for at least a couple of days now. And I sat in one night and I asked my wife, I said, if you're listening to an old boombox, okay, and your favorite jam is on, and for some reason you feel this emotion to take the radio, smash it against the ground, okay. You were on your favorite station, and all of a sudden you smashed the radio on the ground. I said, now, is it the radio that's broke so you'll never hear the music again? Or is the music still playing? You just don't have the device to hear it. It's still there. And she agreed. And then I said, if I'm on a phone conversation with you and you're 100 miles away from me and we're having a phone conversation, and all of a sudden I throw my phone in the pond and that's it. But you're still on the other line. Is the connection still there? Is the signal still there? And she thought about it. And if I smash my TV, is that signal still coming? But it doesn't have a place to go. It's still there. We can't see it. when when she speaks to me from 100 miles away, I can hear her through this contraption. If you take a human body and you destroy it, you smash it, or accidentally you break your avatar, or it gets sick, is it still there? Is the signal still there? These are all things we can't see. We can't taste it. We can't smell it. But it's there, you know? What's your thought on that?
Whew. Um, I I think it's still there. I do, and I know that's kind of the fun answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I said no, that would suck.
Right?
But it I often think about, if I'm thinking about someone, can I channel that energy enough for them to think about me,
Hmm.
right?
I do that too.
And part of me believes it's possible. And I know that there's no rational way for me to know or to explain it, right? And I
Mhm.
do. As you were saying that, I was imagining like one of my dad's paintings, right? Or even when I read the words of my mom, the poetry, and it starts to come alive, right? And
Mhm.
I guess maybe you could say that's my imagination or whatever, but it still exists, right?
Mhm.
Now, did it exist just because he put it in some physical form, or does it just exist, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
that's sort of what you're saying,
Yes.
because you can put the painting away. It's already there, though. It's still
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
for all intents and purposes, right? It was
Mhm.
kind of like with my dad's artwork. I couldn't take it all, and nor did I need to, right? Some of them I was like, I don't know if I need to, like I think I got it. I got what
Right.
I remembered. So yeah, I don't. These are things that this is what makes art great, right? This is why art is what it is, right? And a lot of people just can't handle that because it's just too much.
Right.
It becomes overwhelming for them,
Mhm.
which I kind of feel bad for them in that sense, because to me, that's really,
It tends to break the mind.
you can, yeah. You could break your mind if you just sit there and try to think about something not ending, right? Like
Mhm.
this conversation never ending. Like, and there's a point that when you start to giggle. You'll find you start to laugh, and almost like a psychosis, because you're like, well, that's impossible. And
Right.
then you go, yeah, but it's still going on. Even when you said it's impossible and you thought you ended it, still
Mhm.
going on. And you're just like, oh my God. So I used to do stuff like that, probably when we were stoned half the time. But
Mhm.
yeah, I get it also into, at some point I started to really connect to understand that songs were creating these kind of stories too. They'll say, that's how you remember. What I'm trying to say is that you'll have songs from your childhood, and like the tape rolls the minute that song comes on, right? It's like it imprinted these impressions on you
And the
from,
emotions just come
and
instantly.
they're there too,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
They
Mhm.
have to be, right. They do
Yeah.
come, but so it's all there,
Mhm.
and then you just go, how the hell do we even have emotions with this brain and whatever? It doesn't make any
Mhm.
sense. It
Right.
really
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just as absurd as thinking about something not ending.
Mhm.
But I started to understand. I was doing it because I was like, well, why do I get bored with some songs? And you're like, you're not bored of the song. You're bored with the story. And they go, oh, it just
Mm.
had a crappy story.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, no wonder you're bored with it. Like, because you didn't give it a good story, right?
Mhm.
Like you got to give
Yeah.
the song a story.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think that's what made video so fascinating, right? Was that we started to find ways to give people a narration, kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
a better path to get the story,
Mhm.
um, or allow them to create their own story. That's why a song that gets in a movie, like you said, is the luckiest song on earth.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
like set up to
Yeah.
win.
You mentioned your dad was an artist in the sense of he was a painter, right?
Sculptor,
And
yeah.
a sculptor and all of
Yeah.
that.
All that.
And then your mom was an artist in the sense of writing,
hmm
poetry. Did she write stories?
Yeah, she did some stories too.
Stories. Did any of your brothers and sisters take that path as well? Is anybody an artist sculpture wise or written word?
Not one of my sisters painted for a while and she stopped, and a lot of us were really pissed off about that.
Oh, why did she stop?
Well, why did people stop?
Yeah.
Why did she stop? Well,
Yeah.
that's for her to answer, I guess.
So she never told you guys?
Because, well, I will put it this way. In our family, there was a lot of expectation. To call yourself an artist or a musician was, you better do something. Like, you can't, we're not going to let you just call yourself that.
Right.
You're gonna have
Gotcha.
Prove it, right?
There were certain steps and things that you have to produce in order to be called that.
And then you're going to be judged,
Gotcha.
right? Catholics.
Yeah, being judged is never fun, right? Especially when you're doing something you love.
So, yeah, if you came at it like that and then you put that pressure on yourself, that's a great way to destroy,
Creativity.
creativity and artistic, expression, which is, as I said, kind of it's hard to see, so,
Yeah, I think that was, go ahead, sorry.
No, please.
I think that was another reason why we created Popcorn Night, was just to give people to just express themselves with no restriction or judgment.
Oh, it's fabulous. Yeah, it's fabulous. And it's worked.
Yeah.
Definitely got some people creating that.
Beautiful things.
Yeah. Oh, no. Beautiful. Stunning.
Andrew,
shockingly good.
Andrew Books said he went to Norway this weekend, and you were accompanying him with your music.
Oh, he's too nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's I'm also someone that doesn't like the light on me, which is kind of is an odd thing,
Is that why you haven't submitted some more stuff for Popcorn Night?
Yeah, I know. I will. I
love your music.
Yeah.
We love your music. So we bug when we love music.
I'll be brutally honest. The last 6 months have been not good for me. Just in general, I go through really, and then I just kind of have to be other places in life. You know what I mean? And then the energy's just gone, and there's just a lot of things. So I'm in a good place now. That was one of the reasons I was really excited about doing the show. I said, man, let's do it. And I like short notice. I'm more that kind of person.
Yeah,
Like, don't give me like a month. I'm like, I won't be, I'm like,
yeah, when you said that in the Discord, I was like, what?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
But like Black Jesus says,
yes.
When you're feeling down and out, the best place to come is to the S.O.R family. That's what we're based on. To talk about it. Get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
Yeah. At the end of the day, and I'm still learning this lesson, ACEF. At the end of the day, it's a choice. You literally have the power to choose what mind state you want to be in, and you can fight those emotions.
It's funny, based off of our conversation that we had yesterday on the live. Lamont woke up this morning and he said, today I choose to be happy. And I thought to myself, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard of the minute I woke up.
Yeah.
I heard someone else say it from the chat.
Yesterday.
Oh yeah, today I'm gonna, I don't know if it was Chrome or Scott said, can you read that as well?
I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating how the human brain can remember each and every piece of music we have ever heard our lifetime. It is like a vision, a place we have been. We will always remember it. I agree. Yeah, there's certain songs that, and that's what I was saying.
It takes you back there.
Yeah,
immediately.
Instantly. Like when David was saying something, and I was like, yeah, it brings you back to that emotion, that whatever state you were in your lifetime, whatever was happening in your lifetime at that moment, you hear that piece of music and it instantly transports you there. Some
master said, and without pain or suffering.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pay you another compliment again, ACEF. When I heard
do it.
that, when I heard that music,
He's like,
man,
fuck yeah, tell me.
when I heard that music, man, I tell you, it not only did it just flood some things that I didn't want to deal with, but it brought back a lot of happy things
I
for
was just
me,
going to say, but
you
it
know?
makes you happy at the same time.
It makes me happy. It makes me want to go
That-
back and watch the Care Bears cartoons
That's
again.
why
and-
I picked that particular one, because I did go into your library, David, and heard all the other stuff, which S.O.R
Thank you.
loves to do.
No, I think it's very nice.
And that one in particular just...
And we never tell, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
We never tell people we've been in their library.
Yeah.
We won't leave one comment,
But we
will go on your
but we
channel
watch it.
and we will binge
watch it.
on
Yeah.
like workout days. And I know sometimes it can be rude not to leave a comment,
No.
but
we kind of do that purposely so that when we
purposely.
do have these interviews,
yeah,
people are taken back with like, oh shit,
Yeah.
you really did do that. Yeah, we're invested in our family as much as our family is with us. And I picked that particular song because it was so touching to me.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'll just add that obviously having kids, I've mixed some of those feelings kind of, well, they've become more present, right?
Right,
So I
yeah.
can, when I'm going backward and looking at myself, it's kind of like this whole, you know what I mean? You're kind of reliving your
Right.
childhood.
Yeah.
You kind of connecting with that, and then you're in this moment too. And it's very, for me with the kids, that's number one, just being present for them.
Exactly. How
So
many
I
kids
get
do you
I
have?
get a lot from them.
Two.
Yeah.
You have two? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
A boy, girl.
The boy at 10 and a girl at 12. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
blessed with both, which is
Bless
yeah.
you. And you
Oh,
were smart enough and you were like, done. I'm done.
oh yeah. Well, I was done anyways. I was getting old. I was like, honey, I don't know what's left.
Yeah.
Probably it's pretty bad after that. I don't know.
You're like,
I don't know what
"Ah,
a third was.
You want a dog? You want a
Probably-
puppy? You want to get a puppy? We could get a
Yeah.
parrot. They can say
Yeah.
I love mom all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the next song that you selected from his
so
library?
I didn't pick one. I wanted David to pick one.
Okay, pick one.
So which off of
one.
your YouTube channel, which one do you want me to play?
God, I don't know. I don't know what's
Well,
on.
go
there.
look. Go ahead.
Go ahead and
Take your
look.
time.
Keep
Take your
talking.
time.
Anyways,
This is all about you. We got an
Yeah.
hour left.
Today is your day, sir.
Yeah.
Let's do
So
this.
it's the 4:00 hour. So questions from the chat.
yeah. Ask some
Go
questions
ahead and
talk
give 'em.
about-
I have a few ready, but we're going to play this one last song and then I'll start asking questions. And thank you to the moderators for posting them in our Discord private channel. I really, really appreciate that. It makes my life a hell of a lot easier.
Looks like Messy Cressy finally woke
He
up.
did. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Cressy.
Cressy, where you sleep? Hold on. Gilbert, you twat. Where you sleep?
We got to get Messy Cressy a camera so he can come on for an interview.
Right? Yeah. We'll send him one.
Yeah.
I don't remember what a lot of these are about.
Oh, he's like, oh man,
I
I
don't
don't know what
know.
these are.
Oh, let's do Cleo and the Carpet Love Jam.
Ooh,
Okay.
Cleo and the carpet.
Not many people have heard that. Cleopatra was some people in the chat will know she was my studio cat for a long time. She was the only cat that was allowed in here. She lived in my studio. and-
Aw.
They were saying they miss Cleo.
Cleo,
I didn't know what they
yeah.
were talking about.
So you'll get to
Yeah,
hear her
okay.
little purr.
Yeah, okay, so-
come on. So that's a good one if you can find it because I had a little nest for her in here. And
Cleo, what is it called, David?
Cleo, I think.
Oh, I see it. Cleo and the Carpet Love Jam.
So Carpet Love is that's a reference to Synthetic and
Okay,
Love and Carpet.
okay. So okay. So this
Multifaceted.
is Cleo.
You'll
All
get
right.
to hear Cleo at the beginning.
Okay, so let me get
fun
this queued up, and then we'll have everybody hear it.
It's only got 36 likes too, so let's pump that up.
Oh, what? Yeah, no. Come on, people. Let me also pin this real quick in the chat. Folks, go over there and watch it and like it. Let's get way more likes than what it has, please.
For Cleo.
For
Cleo.
Cleo.
That's all-
Yes.
that's enough.
Yeah, for Cleo. Okay, here we go. Share. Okay. Let me solo this real quick. All right. This is for Cleo. Love
Man, you know what?
it.
That gave me some Uncle Chrome vibes.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Right? It just really like you guys know what you're doing when it comes to those bells and beboops and visuals. You're really tying something nostalgic there.
Apparently, iSing uses one of
Yeah,
your
he does.
songs, Cleo in the Skies, as his ringtone for his alarm in the morning.
Really?
He does. I was going to bring that
Yeah.
up. I almost mentioned that.
Can
I
you
wasn't
find
sure if
that?
he was
Can
in
you
there.
find that?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
look for it right now.
Okay.
Cleo in the Skies.
Does anyone have any questions for ACEF?
Yes, I have a few in the Discord. Let's see. That one I asked. Does the sound inspire the track, or does the track inspire the song?
So it's, I guess, the first one, the sounds. Yeah, I'm definitely. If that answers the question, yeah. I mean, really, I kind of just get some interesting color going, and then the
Hmm.
sounds. I think the sounds make the song for me. Yeah, I
So
just
how do you start off a song? Like what is the first piece of instrument you go to when you're creating?
It depends. Like I was saying earlier, I think you might have stepped out, Marilyn.
Probably.
In Reunion, it was a Murph, but Moog Murph. But on that one, it sounds kind of like more of like a hardware jam kind of thing, probably where I just had some kind of weird rhythm going, and I just had
Gotcha.
some loops going.
Mhm.
It's just kind of a whimsical song in a way, I guess, because we were doing all the carpet stuff. So it's a really kind of ridiculous, I'm like showing a piece of carpet throughout the whole thing, but it was also I used the same melody as I kind of used with Cleo, so there was kind of a weird tie there. Um, but it was really kind of just a fun celebratory type of song for Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Um,
It was beautiful.
Mhm.
yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
Maybe
that just I
um
just love the sound and imagery that go hand
Yeah,
in hand.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
David, so the Chloe in the Skies, is that just on Bandcamp? Because I can't find it on YouTube.
I'm trying to think what that's on. I'm trying to think what release that's on. Is
He's
it on a release?
I
It might be
See
on.
said is from Dee's album. Because
Let
I looked for
me
that
look. Is it on
title.
Introvert? No, it's not Introversion. I'll tell you in a second. Isn't it terrible? I don't even know.
Oh no.
No, I think
You
most people would understand.
Yeah,
Actually,
you got songs, my friend.
Yeah. Trust me, when I say like I've played some songs.
oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's Introversion, which has a really cool.
Is that on YouTube?
It's on
Bandcamp.
no, it's on Bandcamp.
Gotcha.
ACEFSTRIPE.bandcamp.
Okay.
But it's got a really cool. It's worth checking out because it's got an
So
amazing sketch of
maybe
my dad's.
submit.
See. Oh, there. See that sketch?
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold that there for a minute so we can blow the screen
Yeah,
up.
hang on. Don't you dare move, David. There we go.
Look at those eyes. Isn't that intense?
Yeah,
Man, I tell some
piercing.
stories.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
white Jesus, maybe. That might be black Jesus.
White Jesus.
Sorry, Dad.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see that's a sketch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That I found. I was just going through one of his sketchbooks, and
So
I
maybe
thought
submit
cool.
before you finish
Yeah.
that. I
Oh,
thought
sorry.
maybe submit that song for this
Okay.
next popcorn night,
Mm-hmm.
All right,
so we can
right
hear
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll write that down.
So
Good
go ahead.
call. Yes.
You saw that sketch.
Oh yeah, no. So first I was doing paintings, and then I kind of found a sketchbook and started looking at those, and then taking photos of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would kind of be upstairs bored or something, going through the photos and just kind of looking at them. And that one, the eyes just kept. I was like, God, those eyes are so alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of that. It has a spiritual. You can see the Catholicism,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of like Jesus, but
Yeah,
it's
a
not
great
really
sketch.
totally. You
Mhm.
can't tell. So yeah, it was a cool way to celebrate. I started getting beyond the paintings and starting to say, well, it doesn't have to be a painting. It just needs to be something that kind of captures the imagination. So I mean, think that my dad's passed. I can't imagine what he would think if he knew. That's what came of the sketch, because it was just some random sketch in his sketchbooks, and
It's
anyone
pretty
that writes and doodles like that, I don't, but I've seen enough of the. I mean, he was so prolific,
Mhm.
Just
cool.
books and books of that stuff.
So I have a question from Scotty Sounds,
Okay,
and he
sorry.
wants to know, who would ACEF say his main influences have been?
I was trying to get out of that.
not on our
No,
channel,
just
sorry.
kidding.
Not from
Yeah.
Black Jesus.
And it's Jesus asking, so you
Right.
have to answer it.
Well, he
yeah.
knows the answer already. He just wants to hear him say it.
Yeah, he just wants to see if I'm a liar.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell
can't
the
win
truth,
with
babe, Siv. I can hear him now.
Right?
I have a sweat starting to pour.
Like, oh man.
What would Black Jesus say? No, gosh, it's weird how I kind of go blank sometimes with that kind of stuff. There's so many artists that really
Scotty said, "Don't lie, Black Jesus knows."
God, I can hear him saying that shit right now.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
no, I don't have an artist, that's for sure. There's just been a lot of bands and different.
A genre, maybe you can narrow it down to a genre.
I can't. I love The Cure, for sure. I love Robert Smith. I like his writing. I like his music a lot.
So you like Cresthead?
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Well, Crest has been on a few of my releases, man. No, Crest is
Oh, we got to hear some of that.
Crest is amazing, man. He's great. Yeah. No, we definitely connect on the kind of what I call kind of the post-punk kind of which is definitely something I love a lot. A lot of those bands,
Right,
New
yeah.
Order, Joy Division. I loved all that stuff, but I also love the Devos and the Kraftwerk.
Cressy literally just
said
said he
Joy
likes
Division.
Joy Division.
Yeah.
right?
No, I don't know. It's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
no.
Gracie. Gracie just came into our chat.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
No, I've had so many different periods. Like I said, I had my whole techno stuff, and then I loved. I always loved Devo a lot and Kraftwerk, and that's where a lot of electronic stuff kind of hit me. And then later, the early Tangerine Dream, all that stuff was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot
But
of
then I love
people's
stuff like
influences.
Leonard Cohen.
Oh, I
and just
love Leonard Cohen.
stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
like, so there's all that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are your children now? You said 10 and 12, right?
Yes, they're my children.
Are they showing any influences towards music or art? Like Afflictions, not influences, but any interest in it?
Well, my daughter's doing viola, and not in the way I did it, because I didn't go that path, right?
Mhm.
And
Are they enjoying
they
it,
love
though?
music, yeah.
Okay.
They feel
Okay.
it, and they could definitely. I
So
could
it's
see
naturally in
yeah.
them.
I think so. Yeah, the
Yeah.
creativity's there. They're just
Yeah.
channeling it a little
A
different,
different,
right now.
right.
But like I said, my daughter's really good with the viola, and she sings, and like, so yeah, it's just really different from what I did. So but they're encouraged to create. That's for sure. And
Oh, good.
I'm not worried. I feel like they're just babies. Like
Yeah. Just let them be.
Yeah, they'll
you showing
find it.
interest in this? Cool.
That's kind of what
Yeah.
I had to do. So I don't really know any other way. I
Right.
would have loved to have been formally trained. But that's just not the way it worked out. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Uncle Chrome has a question, and
yes,
in
Paul.
in true Uncle Chrome fashion, he always steers it a different way, right?
Good Lord. Something about Maryland.
Right. His question is there an ACEF Stripe dance, and may we see it?
Oh shit.
Panda,
No.
you ready to record? Hurry up.
That is definitely left field. No, there's not. I am not getting up. I got jammies on.
Look, we got music for you.
There's two
No?
cultures in here.
No. So no dance. There you go.
I'm starting to feel something.
Oh, there
No,
you
it's
go.
not much.
No.
It's gone.
He's
Gone.
like, nah,
Yeah, no,
not
it's
gonna
gone.
happen.
Yeah.
No.
It's done. It's done. Yeah.
I would like to say, he said, please tell David that his track Jeremy Brett from the album always
Yeah.
makes me almost cry
I almost
because
played
it
that.
reminds
Yeah.
me so much of my mom.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, I almost picked that one just because I had a little more slick video, but yeah, I like that song a little bit. Came out pretty good. Thank you though. That's really nice. I don't want to make people cry, but I do. So
Yeah.
I want people to feel,
Yeah.
if that's what they want to do, I want to, like any artist, I want to give people the space to feel.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Absolutely.
mean, you do that very
Yeah.
well, sir.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Uncle Uncle Crum. Oh God, Paul, I love you. His question is, do you fear your daughter will find your drum set?
No, I want my kids to find my drum set. I had an actual drum set out of the studio for a while, just hoping like somebody would just get on it and just smash. I'm ready to pay my dues. I mean, I made a lot of noise as a kid, so no, I want them desperately to find that stuff, but I'm not gonna make them do it. I don't know. I just can't do that. It doesn't. They
Yeah.
got to find it. They got to want it.
They
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah.
I
curious.
don't.
I always say they got to be
It's the privilege,
curious about it.
Yeah, they
right?
got to really. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's got to be something that really drives them towards it. I kind of steer.
Mhm.
That's why I still do it. They see me doing it. You know what I mean? They've come in and tinkered and stuff, and I could probably make a video. Oh, look at my daughter. I thought, oh
Right,
yeah, they're
right,
going to be
yeah.
a keyboarder, and then it's like gone the next day. They don't want to do it anymore. They come in a couple times, Dean. You think, oh my God, I did it. They're going to be a synthesizer player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I hope they do. I'm trying to do what our family did. Right. I think that's somewhat self-evident. Is just have it around, make it normalize
Right.
the art and the creativity.
Yeah.
And I like to listen to what, my daughter's really into Taylor Swift and there was a point where we had a really good time one time because we were going to Chipotle or something. It was just her and I said, well, can we listen to some songs? And we were listening to them and I made a conscious point of not like trying to, I don't want to say pick apart the songs or just like, well, it's a nice, I was like, no, I hear it. I feel that like that.
Yeah.
And just celebrating her, what she was getting from it. I guess that was,
Yeah.
it was a really cool moment because then she started sharing songs with me and I knew whatever I did, I approached it the right way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
know
think
what I mean? Where they felt safe. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's really just that.
I feel bad for kids a lot of times because I feel like they're not heard or
Oh, God.
understood.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
it's
can't
sad
imagine.
because as adults, we always complain about how when we were kids, we weren't heard or understood, but yet here we are doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can listen to or hear.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Agreed.
flip side too. You're just like, okay, that's great. 30 minutes of story, son. But
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
got to
and-
like,
yeah, and kids
I'm pretty
can-
tired now. No, but
Kids
no,
can
it's
talk.
more that, yeah, it's just the creative stuff. Kids are
Mhm.
everyone's creative.
Yeah.
That like you were saying, right? It's shocking how good it's like the Hardware Jam stuff. It was the same kind of concept. You
Yeah.
got
Right. Yeah.
it, it's kind of like, whoa, wow, there's some of these people have a lot, they're getting a lot out. Like this
Yeah.
is great.
Right.
And they got
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah.
For years, we can't we get on, start noodling on the piano when we're like on his pub. We're like, my God, Kent, it's
Yes.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Please play more.
And I was just like, Ken, I didn't know him much at first. I'm like, Ken, all I can say is, I'm nobody, but you know how to touch those keys, man.
Right.
Yep.
Like you got the gift. Just,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a gift to some degree,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But,
That's
I don't
why
even
I
know
like
much,
when
yeah.
Kent comes on to the show, because anytime Cresshead is on with us, and it's me, Cresshead, and my brother, and whoever else.
And Scotty.
Scotty's now new to the show in a way, especially with helping us co-host and everything. But Cress would be like, "Come on, Kent, just play," and we would sit there and not force him,
Yeah, I remember.
but just coolly coerce him
Coerce
to
him, yeah.
just
I think we forced him.
Yeah.
He finally gave in.
And
Let me
it's-
shut
yeah.
up these
And
bastards.
And it's so
did it. You
dope to
cracked the
see that,
code.
man. Right? We cracked the code with him.
I don't know how you did it. I was
Yeah.
like, they cracked
Right?
the code. I was like,
And but Cresshead always says, it's something about Symptoms of Reality where you get people to come out of that shell.
Yeah.
James
cool.
Dyson got a mic.
Oh yeah,
Kent Spong is playing more.
Crazy Rabbit just lost his shit when Dyson came on with the fucking
Yeah.
mic. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Right?
He's like,
Yeah.
"Next thing you know, Cressy's gonna have a camera," and you're right. Next
Yeah.
thing you know, Cressy's gonna have a camera, and
And
he's gonna
but-
come on for an interview.
And there's a few more people that have come on here and they've completely got out of their shell like you would have never thought they would come and do half the
And
things.
that's the most beautiful thing
Yeah.
is I think a lot of people fear coming out of their shell because they're going to be judged.
right.
And here on S.O.R, we don't give two flying fucks. You are who you are, and we love you for it.
Right. I think we like to just play around
Yeah.
nonstop, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, and if we get a little too far with the shenanigans or we do something to hurt someone's feelings, you know what? I strongly apologize.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's not
It's
our
not out
intent.
of malicious
Yeah.
intent. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all in
it's-
fun.
And people know me, like especially our co-host and my brother,
Yeah.
and like sometimes we could say some shit that's just too far. And if
But-
our goal is not to hurt anyone's feelings here,
No.
you know.
But I have the
if
ability
we
to mute
have,
you,
I,
so
yeah,
I'll
I
just
am
mute.
sorry. And I really mean that. I really mean it. And I'm not
Yeah.
being a funny guy right
Yeah.
now, you know.
No.
So,
we know.
but we just want people to have fun
Just
and
be comfortable.
and cross the line if you have to. We fucking get it, man.
Yeah.
Just cross the line.
You're not going to be judged.
Right.
Just
And
say how you feel.
I think when we say cross the line, Kent runs past the
Oh
line.
no, Kent's already
it's like-
across the line, so you can't say that to Kent because then he's just going to go further.
Right.
But Cressy said nope regarding the camera, and I'm like, yeah,
Come
right.
on,
Give us a little
Cress.
bit. No.
I think that would be one code. Okay.
we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
convince him.
That's
Don't
one
you worry.
code I
No,
want
I'm
to
pretty
crack
sure
in
he's a
life.
cat. He's a cat.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
probably
yeah.
is a
Yeah,
cat.
Yeah.
He's got a cat face.
He's been on
like,
camera
it's
before.
it's gonna be
Yes.
like kind of human, but it's a lot
Yeah.
cat.
Yeah. But I would love to see Cressy, speak to us face to face. That would be an amazing feat, you
It
know.
would be an
Absolutely.
amazing feat.
That's the opportunity for
Maybe you
Kent
could
to
start
come
with your
back.
feet.
Right?
maybe
Just
start
start with
with your
the feet,
feet.
Cress.
Like
Oh,
start
God.
with
work
your feet.
away.
That
like,
might be way
down and come
scarier. What are you talking
right
about,
up through
David?
the posterior
Nope.
to the.
That might be scarier.
If that's what it takes.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Scotty hit it on the nail perfectly. Black Jesus and Maryland will calm it down when it gets too far.
Yeah, they will.
Absolutely,
Yeah. Oh,
Scotty.
How about we do this? How about we do Marilyn and Cressy
Oh, together on camera?
together?
Cressy, if you do
Oh
that,
my God.
I'll come on camera.
I think Cressy bounced out.
Oh man, he's like
Cressy's like, I
Cressy's
love
like,
it.
nope,
Right.
not having it.
No, he said no. He literally said
No,
no.
No.
Jesus.
He said no.
what if
Go ahead.
what else? What can we
What can we do to
yeah.
convince him?
Maryland. That
Yeah.
should have been enough.
Right?
But,
Thank you.
Yeah.
God, fuck you, Cressy. And I mean
No,
that with
now it's
all the
over.
love in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, now she's not doing it. Like
Yeah.
you can't.
It's done now.
Yeah, that no Cressy just said, that was no, fuck you, Marilyn.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, no, fuck you, Cressy, back.
Yeah.
Okay, before I ask the strange and
Wait, I have a question
Okay.
Okay.
from the chat.
Okay, from chat.
Is there a piece of equipment or instrument that David would like to complete his studio?
Ooh.
What do I need? Yeah, I would like I'd like a Prophet 5, a Prophet 10 now. Yeah, that's what I'd like. Or if I can't get that for some reason, one of the Rhodes reissues. Yeah. One of those. That's what I want.
Damn.
Want a big,
Okay.
beautiful keyboard.
Yeah. Wagyu says
That's all I want.
Go full Italiano disco and just hire some model to represent you on stage. You know, Cressy, that would be a great idea.
you can hire somebody desperately looking to buy some goods and looking for a job with a huge package and long hair.
You're just never gonna live that
I'm
down.
not going to
are
live
you?
that down.
Just leave
Okay.
that poor man alone.
So, we're-
Rusty,
so
what if you have like those black? What are the like the old like the masks like you're just partially. We see some.
oh yeah, yeah.
You know
like
what the hell's that?
baklava or something, or
Oh,
Yeah.
you're shooting
Yeah.
from the good angle.
You could go to like the Party City and get those cute little mask things. You know,
yeah.
You know,
Colors?
if Cressy was smart
he's not.
enough, he would be like,
You
yes.
said a silhouette.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
silhouette.
God!
There you
That's
go.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Silhouette.
what was that show where that mysterious, it was always the silhouette of the guy talking in the beginning, and it was like these creepy.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's gonna be Alfred Hitchcock of a
Yeah.
S.O.R family.
Yeah.
But if Cressy was smart
funny.
enough, he would just say yes to the camera, right? Get a camera, get it ready, and then wear a monkey mask.
Oh, that would be cool too. But it wouldn't. I want to see the man. I want to see the man behind the master plan. He's a brilliant guy.
I
and
guess
it's
we're
just
just
like,
gonna have to go to the UK and visit him in Studio B.
we might just have to
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. Yeah.
He'll be terrified. Like we'll come
Right?
up on him. We'll have the camera and.
Yeah. I mean, he's really a brilliant guy, you know, and I just want him to be seen and shine in all of his glory. But if that's something he don't want, then Cressy don't want it. I don't think there's anything we could
Oh,
ever.
I'm still gonna
He
make him.
really doesn't want it.
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
trying to
Don't
converse-
worry.
It's
I'll-
about us now. Let's
Thank
be
you.
Yeah,
honest.
it is.
Yeah,
It's
I,
Yeah,
really
it
not
is.
about him.
Yeah.
It's part of entertainment.
thank you, David. Exactly. I
Yeah.
am not putting down that chisel. I am
Yeah.
still gonna
I do
break
like,
through it.
but you know, I do like the mystery. Like if Cressy
It's-
reveals himself, then
well,
what's left?
So it's kind of like me. If I reveal
It's
myself,
like Kiss. Like
Yeah.
remember when they took the
yeah,
The makeup off.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
so furious at them.
Yeah. Mhm.
God,
Yeah.
I was like, you idiots! Why would you take the makeup off?
Yeah, you just ruined it all.
They
Yeah.
ruined it.
Yep. Yep.
Thanks
Okay.
a lot.
Free, full question. Go ahead, babe. I don't have
Okay.
any more. so.
Before we do, let's watch the last video.
Oh,
it's not
yes.
a
Okay.
video?
Yeah, I have one ready. I picked it. It's the shifting inverting.
Okay. All right. Sounds
Yes.
familiar.
He's like, "Are you sure that's me?"
Yeah, I'm going to take credit for it. If it's good.
He said, "If it's good." This one's about 6 minutes, so
Let's go.
Sorry, people.
no, don't be
No,
sorry.
let's go.
Absolutely not. Sit back and get comfortable. Here we go. Why does it always plays before I tell it to
What
play?
are these
It's-
weird things on here? The viral chicken?
It's so weird. What
You
is
see
that?
that?
Yeah.
Or
What
kettle-
is that?
Is that what I watch?
I don't know. It's shorts. Look at that.
It's
Viral.
tied to your channel. Black
That is
Jesus
so weird.
has put it there.
She has pants on, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Pink.
All right. Here we go.
Shifting inverted.
I love how that just abruptly stops.
Mhm. That was beautiful.
Was that in Cuba?
I don't know. I just took that clip.
That was amazing. So Steve had asked, he didn't ask, but he said, I wonder if any of those cars are still around. And so
I know. It's
I
so
told
cool.
him, in the
fun to look at.
States, there's huge car museums. We lived in 2 of the states.
Mhm.
There's one in California.
Mhm.
There was one in, was there one in Washington? No.
No,
So there was one in California and there's one here.
in Indiana.
The one here is
It's the
actually
biggest in the. I believe it's the
for
biggest in
the-
the nation
for the Duesenberg.
for the Duesenberg.
Yeah. And we actually live less than 15 minutes away from it. So I told Steve when it opens up again, because it's free to the public, it's closed in the wintertime. When it opens up again, we'll go live from the museum and
Yes.
show it.
And we'll show it. It is one of the most.
The biggest
Yeah.
Duesenberg.
My brother took his kids to the Duesenberg parade, and some of the cars that were there, you would never see.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Amazing.
It's fun going to those.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, ACEF. Aliens. Do you believe in them? Do they exist? Is there something visiting us, and we don't know about it?
They gotta exist, man. They got to.
You
I mean,
sound
I just-
so sure of that. Go ahead.
I'm with
In
ACEF.
all
I mean, like-
seriousness,
Yeah. No, I didn't say they visited us.
Mhm.
I said, do they exist?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the
Yeah.
world is we're just getting going. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Scotty says yes, they exist.
like Jesus is
Mm-hmm.
saying, he knows.
If Black Jesus says yes, they do.
I
then
think
they
says
do.
yes, yes, and no. But go ahead. This is your question.
Ooh, I think they have, but I don't think they are what we think it is.
Mm.
I think we think it's some kind of physical
hmm
being, that's really obvious, right? And it doesn't have to be anything like that, right? Yeah, so it could be some sort of energy.
hmm
It could be anything, it could just be passing through, but I just don't understand how what we seem to understand about the solar system and all that stuff, things have to be coming through us.
hmm
And we don't understand it all by any means, right?
Right.
And if you talk to anybody that knows anything about that stuff, they start talking about it, and it seems like they just get so enraptured.
Right.
Like they don't even know what to. They just start going, "In this amazing," and then there's
Mhm.
this, and then there's this, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I think so, but I don't think they're little green people.
Yeah.
I
I think a lot of people don't care to even think about it too. It's just like, who,
Well, we
who
don't even go.
cares?
Nobody goes outside and even looks at the bugs or anything else. I mean,
They're
Right.
too busy on their phone.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or just with life in general. Like, I got to worry about my life. I don't have time to ponder fascinating things that I don't even consider fascinating.
Well, you're running out of time. You better start.
Right?
What I tell them.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, we're not. You're talking about curiosity,
Mhm.
right? We're not all. We don't have the same amount of curiosity for whatever reason. And I think it all goes back to, maybe it was Half God that said it, Biscuit, but fear, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Fear really messes us up big time. Just destroys so much of. Yeah, I mean, if you're afraid you're going to run into a snake outside, yeah, you're going to come
You're
back.
gonna
from the-
miss out on a lot.
You can start cutting the trees down, and once you cut the trees down, you've just killed a bunch of cool stuff up in the trees that could have, well, I was lucky enough to kind of grow up in a semi-rural area, so
Mhm.
I got to see
Yeah.
all kind of crazy stuff, green snakes and all sorts of
Green snakes.
black rat snakes, and I'm thinking of
rat
snakes now for
snakes.
some reason. I'm kind
Oh
of
my god. Okay.
But,
we
like,
have we
bird-
have
pileated
20
woodpeckers. Oh yeah,
Oh, woodpeckers, yeah.
Yeah.
We have 20.
pileated woodpeckers.
What
Excuse
kind
me.
of woodpeckers?
Pileated. Look
What's
them
that?
up, man. They're crazy looking.
Really?
Affiliated.
Yeah, maybe some people call them pileated.
Wagyu, goddammit, put it in Discord.
He
right
already
now.
knows what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody better be putting it in Discord.
Mhm.
We have
Big
20
woodpecker.
minutes left.
Okay,
Rapid
20
fire questions.
Go.
I I will start with, what was your profession to keep food on the table and bills paid?
Oh, environmental consulting.
Environmental consulting.
Beautiful.
Let's just say a spiritual figure comes down, sits on the couch, and says, "You've done well here, ACEF. You want to come with me and never come back? You want to experience something different?" And challenges your reality. What do?
Do I have to go right then?
What do? I'm not going to give you any context.
Well,
in
thank
that.
you.
Mhm.
I'd say, well, can you wait? Can you give me like 20 years? Let my kids at least get married.
Okay, I'm going to be that being. You don't have 20 years.
Then I'm going to have to pass.
Ooh, that's very
Can
interesting.
I bring somebody? Can I suggest somebody else, Cresshead?
We already know Cressy's not coming. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
For
Go
reals.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Jeez. Oh, I'm on the spot?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I'm going to take a page out of Uncle Chrome's book. Stirred or shaken?
What?
Mm-hmm.
What's the question? I'm sorry.
Stirred or shaken?
I don't know. I don't know if I understand the question.
So in context of like coffee, alcohol, beverages, do you like it stirred or shaken?
Oh, stirred or shaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uncle Chrome always
Stirred.
asks that.
Stirred.
Always.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Shaken or stirred?
Cressy said,
Oh, sorry.
Cressy
Shaken
said-
or stirred? Jeez.
Cressy said, "I'll go."
Get fucking Cressy away.
He's leaving.
Oh my God.
Just like that. Cress just leaves us all.
He totally would. What is the one thing that
It was my turn.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Live life rich or poor?
Oh, I think I can handle rich, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's bold.
That's right. What is the one thing you want to do, either accomplish or go see before you leave this universe that we're in?
Gosh. What do I want to accomplish? That's a good question.
Rapid fire. Let's go.
Oh shoot. Okay. I'd like to go to Czech Republic. Yeah.
Ooh.
Get to see some roots.
Oh.
Some of my roots. I
Damn.
got other roots, but it'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one.
That's enough of the rapid fire. Here we go.
Oh,
The last
okay.
15 minutes will be a thought-provoking one if you allow it to be.
Okay.
If you don't answer the way most of my regular podcast viewers know this question, then it's just going to be a short question. And it won't be nothing thought-provoking at all. But it will let us know where ACEF is in his life at the current moment.
Andy Synchrotron says, sorry, I missed David's interview. Well, go back and rewind.
Yeah.
And then you miss nothing.
We do it all the time with your show, Andy.
We always go on rewind.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here's the question. And it's up to you on how you answer it, but it allows us to know where your thought process is right
Look at
now.
him shaking in his boots.
Ready? Are you ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Who is David?
Who is he? Who is David? Yeah, he's just a dude. Just a human being, that's probably a little more self-actualized than some other people. And that's all I got.
I love
Wow.
that. I love
And
that.
I'm not putting anybody down. I just think,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've done maybe a little more heavy lifting, yeah, that's it, I don't really think I'm anything that special, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm just as interested in other people, I actually use myself as when I think, what would most people do? I go, well, what would you do? Yeah, you're pretty typical. Just do that. Like, no, that's my best answer to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a beautiful answer.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
What are some of the most thought-provoking things you've pondered in your mind where you it's something that it's maybe not a passion, but you've really thought, like, you've pondered this moment, you pondered the what ifs. What are some of the top things that go through your mind?
Yeah, I think there's always trying to think about this. I think about regrets when you say that. And I
Mhm.
think about the first thing that comes to mind is circumstances that I wonder what I would have done differently. Present me, you know.
Mhm.
Um, um, I would I don't know why I think about this one crazy thing. So one night we were all sitting. We used to sit, group of my friends. We would sit late into the night in this kind of we'd have all our lawn chairs and we sit out in the street, right? Um, and we form kind of a circle. It would take up about half the street. People would have to drive around us. But one night, um, so we had a pretty quiet neighborhood, and then slowly, as it got more developed, people were coming and going that weren't from the neighborhood. And one
Mhm.
night, so we were kind of in a very safe place in our neighborhood, and one night these group of guys came up and they just started crap, and we said something back, and they stopped the car and they get out, right? And there was 7 or 8 of us, and only one of us like went and actually kind of challenged them, right? And the rest of us kind of stood back. Um, and I always considered myself kind of a pack leader, right? But I wasn't a physical threat, right? So I did not go forward, and it was against my nature, right? As someone that likes to stand up for people, right? And I do have a big
Mhm.
voice when I want to have a big voice.
Mhm.
I'm sure you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, but not then. I didn't. And I think I felt really disappointed in myself that I didn't.
Mm.
Maybe I would, because I thought a little part of me kind of died, a little part of my confidence, a little part of who I thought I was,
Mhm.
you know, and I wasn't, right? And I had chances later in my life to make up for that. Um, but it bothered me, and I remember it, so I know it bothers me, right? I always say that. The things you remember, right,
Right.
are remembered for a reason. So I don't know, like, that's a kind of I would change that, I think, even though I might have made a very smart decision,
Mhm.
right? Because it took something from me, and I don't like it when someone takes something from me, right? I
Yeah.
Mm.
would have rather paid the consequences.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
And I
strong.
learned from it. I did learn from that, right?
Mhm.
I became a much grittier, tougher person than I wanted to be because I knew something got taken from me and I didn't like it at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So now I'm the one that kind of like says something like at the store, everybody else is standing there.
Mhm.
Right? Like,
Mhm.
somebody gonna say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, Final question here.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen anything that challenged your reality? Like maybe an apparition, or um, maybe there was a thing you would consider to be a spiritual awakening or intervention in your life where you're just like, do I tell someone about this because this was wild, but it happened?
Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't certainly I don't think I've seen any apparitions.
Hmm.
I have Yeah, I think I was able to deduce those to dreams. I've had dreams that were so consistent they started to feel like they were real,
Hmm.
that I actually wasn't sure if they happened, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
I've had that, and that's really weird. They're like an alternate
Timeline or something, maybe?
timeline in my life. That would be
Yeah.
the closest I've gotten to where, I'm kind of like, I'm not even sure anymore. Like, I'm pretty sure
Mm.
that never happened,
Hmm.
but I'm also not really sure,
That it.
um, you know, of, that. I think I've definitely had times where people have come into my life at the right time,
Mm-hmm.
which seems really lucky, fortunate,
Mhm.
but maybe that was me just having the intelligence to
Lucky
see
or
that.
synchronicity?
It,
Which one would suit it best?
I'm going to say lucky only because I think there's a lot of chance in
Mm.
life,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
And then as we grow, we start to recognize the difference. We start to see opportunity for what it really is and the fleeting nature of it. So we get a little smarter, I think, in my opinion, about understanding when we're getting a gift, right?
Right.
And not, let's just say, for example, a very small one. You let me come on the show. You didn't have to. There's a million people out there, right?
Mhm.
So I look at that as a gift, right? It is synchronicity on some level,
Mm-hmm.
right? We kind of found each other at this point for whatever reason,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So I do, but I'm very good at I've learned to not let my fears stop what I think is something I want to do. And I'm a pretty introverted person, right?
Mhm.
So if I find value in something, I won't let my fears get through it. So I don't know, It's a
Yeah.
good question. I just don't know,
Yeah. So sometimes I think our whole lives added up to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to go to school
Mhm.
in at this environment. I had to tie my shoes at exactly
Mhm.
this time.
Yeah.
I had to be this person
Mhm.
at that moment.
You had to take the wrong exit at
Right.
that time.
To be here right
Yeah.
now to have this conversation
Mhm.
with you. Is that saying is that chance? Is that free will? Is it a
Synchronicity.
synchronicity? Is it a divine moment where there's some sort of construct that has our fate already in so many ways locked in?
I don't know, but I know that I I'm hesitant to say there's as many tough moments I had in my life. There's probably only one or two that I kind of go, I don't know if I would play that out the same way. Everything else I go, yeah, it's got to play out like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just
Right.
got to, you know. I think the one or two others, it's just too cruel to myself to ever um say that was okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
that if I could change those events or change how that played out, I feel like even the adult me says, yeah, nah, you definitely want to change that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
everything else I look at, yeah, there's no way I could be who I am now without what I've gone through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I am grateful that I've had a lot of courage. As much as I'm like the most courageous coward out there. It's kind of you know what I mean? What do they always say?
Yeah.
That cowards are the most
the
courageous
cowardly
people.
lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, people
Yeah.
that are afraid are the most courageous when they do something. So when Cressy
Mm.
shows us his face,
That's
right?
Yeah.
that's
It's
it.
gonna
We're
come back.
done.
Right.
We're done.
Right.
Andy Secretron says, I think all that matters is that you believe it to be so.
Mhm.
And that's so true. That's so
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
To each individual his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to live with a lot of regrets, that's for sure. You know what I
No.
mean? You definitely you gotta pay attention,
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
because
something's destroying you, you know what I mean? Or that's
Yeah.
why I said even it can be silly, like some of the event that I brought up. But I always believe in when I hold on to something, I'm holding on to it for a reason, and I've got to figure it out,
Yeah.
crack the
Right.
Yeah.
code.
Exactly.
Well, anyways, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to interrupt.
No. But
You're
I don't want to
good.
live. Okay, the reason why I don't live with regret is because of these moments right here.
Yeah.
I'm glad everything happened the way they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Because we're here and we're having a conversation us right now, and that's I think we're playing a masterful game of life. And anybody who's off into their 50s and 60s and 70s right now, because we're not there yet, some of us, you guys played a masterful game of life. and
Mhm.
you only get one crack in so many ways. So you've played your cards great, no matter where you are in life. If you're alive today, you played a hell of a game of life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, I think that's one thing that was kind of heartbreaking when we started getting these younger generations that were when things like Boomer came up. While it was funny
Oh, yeah.
it was funny the
Yeah.
first time, and then it was like, okay, like we need to
Yeah.
stop this
I
immediately
think
because
just
it got
freaking
really dark. They're
Yeah.
like, no, no,
yeah.
you're not. This isn't
Yeah.
supposed to be like
Stop.
judgmental. It was supposed to be just
Yeah.
funny. Like it
I
was kind of like
think labels just in
General.
general
Yeah.
horrific.
leads to really
Yeah.
bad negative connotations. Like, let's just be the human race and just leave it at that.
Right.
Yeah, no
L-
doubt. And
leave it
like,
alone.
it's hard. Well, I'm blessed to have kids, right? Because that's
Yeah.
someone that I can mentor
Right.
and work with.
Mhm.
But I do get really hurt on some level, if I'm honest, when I try to mentor other younger folks
Mhm. Yeah.
and they reject it or don't get it, right?
Mhm.
Because I've had some people that really were really important to me, that really fathered like figures. They weren't perfect either. I had some crazy ones. I had this
Mhm.
guy, I know we don't have much time. I had this guy, when I was a teenager, I used to hang out at the Roy Rogers, and there was an older black guy that was a trucker for Roy Rogers, right? And he would
Mhm.
hang out there at night. And I was about 18. And I told you that's not my best period.
Mhm.
And I would hang out with this guy, right? Jimmy. And we hung out there a couple times a week. And I knew I had an old soul then,
Mhm.
right? I realized I had an old soul because I wasn't really focused. I was just looking for people I could connect with, right? And me and Jimmy would hang out and they'd let us stay after they were closing because he kind of worked for them and I was with Jimmy. It doesn't make sense, right? They'd give us food sometimes. We get to know the managers. Well, we became friends, and he had another buddy who would come by, and I would spend time with them, and I generally enjoyed his company, right?
Right.
And we'd talk about things and joke and be dudes, and somehow he was able to see me as a person, right?
Mhm.
And I was able to see him, and that really stuck with me, as I got older, And I
Mhm.
guess that's why I go back to now when I see people that can't do that and they're just so hung up on your age or this or that or your color or whatever, and I just
Mhm.
think, man, what are we doing? Like
Right.
this is it's sad because now I'm the older person, right? And that's
Mhm.
a tougher position to be in, right? Because the younger person's got to be this in some ways, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to even be that much younger. It's not really the point. It's the point that you feel different, and that's a really crappy thing to feel, when you're
Right.
just like, man, I got a lot of value. I've seen a lot, oh,
Mhm.
yeah, man. I'm fine. I'll let you know if I, like, okay, you just do your thing, man. I mean, I got my kids, so I'm good,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
we need to like, you got to learn from each other, man.
Yeah.
Like, or
Yeah.
else we just beating our head against the wall, making same mistakes over and over. It gets kind of
Mhm.
annoying.
It's the
Yeah.
definition of insane, and I could see where a lot of your contemplations and a lot of your thoughts go towards, and I can see what you're frustrated with
Yeah.
Yeah.
in this life.
Yeah.
It's
And
very, very much like ours.
it's very
Yeah.
much like
Yeah.
a lot of people.
We definitely got to have David back on.
Yeah, I feel like
This
we haven't
Let's have him
even
back on.
scratched the
not
surface.
even
No,
literally
you
tipped
Yeah.
the
nothing.
surface
You
at all. I
nothing.
have
Mhm.
so many more
Right,
questions.
and 2.5 hours is not long
Super
enough
cool.
for
Not
a
long
lot of people who come on here.
at all. And
Yeah.
we're gonna
No.
have the part twos for everybody that came on. It was just
Mhm.
we need more
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's
As
awesome.
we
Yeah.
evolve, our
Synchrotron
stories
still have
evolve.
Synchrotron has a lot left on the
So much.
table.
Luke
Yeah,
too,
Luke,
Sin Seeker.
Seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll probably start back up to
Mhm.
like the first person that we interviewed, which
Yeah.
was Sin Seeker, and then we'll just
Right.
go from there.
Yeah. Because real quick, Andy was to me, Andy was the most
reserve
and the most complex conversation.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if Andy realized himself, and I'm going to say this real quick, but anytime we had a conversation about something, Andy would say, I'm sorry, I'm going down a different path.
But
and
that's
it's just like,
fine.
and it's like
Perhaps.
he's put himself in
Yeah.
this situation where he's
Yeah.
either been around people who doesn't give a fuck about what he's talking about
Yeah.
or looks at him
Yep.
different.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's doing
Yeah.
it self-consciously.
Yeah.
And I want Andy to go down those paths.
And he just said in the chat, he's like, I am so shuffling boring, but you're not.
And that's the
No.
thing.
You are so interesting to
right.
us.
And you're self-consciously have drawn this construct about your mindset
Exactly.
because your subconscious wants to go in different paths.
Yeah.
And you keep
Yeah.
stopping yourself from
Yeah.
going down those paths.
To us,
So-
everybody is interesting.
Right.
We love everybody. Our SOAR community is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
David, get back to creating. Your music is so beautiful. We want to hear more. Submit more to Popcorn
Is there
Night.
no Get Jervis?
I think he's not on today because he's somewhere
Oh.
else. But we have Uncle Jerry's World's coming on.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Pre-gaming for Sin Seeker's Kumatai.
Yeah. What time does the Kumatai come on?
I don't know, but I'll pin it in the chat.
Yeah.
So-
you mean Sin Samurai?
Sin Samurai. Yeah, sorry.
Is Sin Samurai still in, or any of the renegades in here who can answer what time the Kumite starts?
So I have it ready to pin.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to pin Uncle Jerry's World first
Okay.
because that comes on first. And then the Kumatai starts at 7:30.
Craig did it. Behringer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop it.
He'll pop up any moment.
Any
now.
minute.
Yeah.
So everybody go over to Uncle Jerry's World. Go catch him.
Yeah. Kumite is at 7:30.
Yep, 7:30.
Okay.
And then right after Uncle Jerry's World is Simp Samurai, also known as Captain R.
Yeah.
And he knows why.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the Hardware Jam stream through. We will be on right after it is
Streams
completed.
through. Yeah.
So probably 6 p.m. We'll just post it for 6.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Yeah. And support Uncle Jerry. He's just now getting into it. Uncle
Yeah,
Jerry
please go
also
over there
has
and-
a crazy life, but that man has the biggest heart. So if you guys can find it in your time to at least spend as much time as you can with him. Andy, Garen, Jeff Hopkins, Animotions, they did something phenomenal today.
Yeah.
I only caught
jam
an
tab.
hour of
Yeah.
it. And then James Dyson was also on. So everybody was doing so much today. It was a beautiful Sunday. It's how I like to spend my time. I don't doom scroll anymore. That was a habit of mine. Now I just go and support all of the family members on YouTube. That's my doom scrolling. And if we haven't visited your channel, we're sorry, but there is a lot of content we look at, and then we have to do our own content, and we kind of make our rounds, and we get there sooner or later. Also, there is a new member in here who has come to the channel for the first time, and that is the Blade Runner. We had a discussion in James Dyson's comment section. Him,
Fingers
in there.
himself.
Steve, and I were in there, and he came over to sit and view the content, and I think that's pretty cool. So if you see Blade Runner in the house, give him a big old Saurian welcome. Anybody who's looking to do the interview, we have another day we need to fill.
This coming Sunday. I think I may have somebody filled. Either way, I'll post it if I don't. Anybody who wants to join the Discord, I will pin my email address right now. Send me an email, and I will send you an invite because it is a private server. It is not open. And then within there's a bunch of channels for like interviews, being featured on the album, and just a bunch of different popcorn challenges that we do is going to be on the Discord.
Yeah.
So
And I like to say Wookie, we hope you are getting better every day. Echocraft,
Yeah.
our thoughts are always with you. We hope that situation improves every day. And Doommonger,
Yep,
our
same.
thoughts are with you. We hope that your situation
Gets
improves
better, or
every
you
day.
get help.
Anybody else who's struggling with anything,
Yep.
whether it be physically, mentally, we're
We're
thinking
here.
about you. Come here in your darkest hours and let us
And
know.
get away from it.
And we will walk you through it, talk you through it, and play you through it.
Yep.
Thank you, ACEF Stripe. Man,
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you, David.
You
that
are a
was
blessing.
amazing.
I feel like we're
Likewise.
cosmically collected
Likewise.
Yeah.
and connected.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
got to come on
Correct.
again. When we're open to jamming, please join. We would
Yeah.
love to have you. It's
Yeah.
usually on Saturdays where we open it up. Come and join us if you can.
Yeah.
You're such a beautiful soul,
Yeah.
and we would love to have you on again.
Yeah. And Monday through Thursday, it is our other co-host Scott
And Cressy.
Sounds and Cresshead.
Yeah.
We're creating and producing this album,
The album
our very first
live.
album.
Jeez.
Thank you to those two gentlemen who decided to take it out of their time, their personal time, to do it
To
out
help
of,
these two
out of
monkeys.
the kindness of their hearts. That I don't even know how we're going to repay these gentlemen, but I've got some ideas. But
Yeah, we got some ideas.
They are truly selfless people. I love those two guys.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can convince Viral Beats to donate some time to master these tracks. I don't even know
see.
how I'm gonna convince Viral to do this shit.
We just already voluntold him.
Yeah.
But Viral Beats is a brilliant mind.
Beautiful mind.
Check out Apollo Hanzo. I wish we could say check out Half God, Half Beast, but he's still working on his
soon
thing.
He's working
and I
on
think
it.
he's probably pretty close. But
Yep,
he's
yep.
going through some stuff right now.
He's getting his
And
stuff taken care of.
I hope you
Yeah.
weather that storm, Biscuit. I know
Yeah.
you're going through some stuff.
Yeah. And then we're going to do a private stream through thingy to make sure all his stuff works. So,
Yeah.
Hey, Wagyu also posted the pileated woodpecker on your
Oh yeah.
Oh,
See,
under
Wagyu was-
general.
Okay.
So if
Yeah,
anybody,
Wagyu is
see,
good with
Wagyu
that.
is on it. That's
yeah, no, I just saw it. I was like,
Yeah.
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 You know, ACEF, we need to. I really strongly believe you, me, and my brother in Maryland need to do something. We need.
Yeah.
To, we
A
need to,
collab.
when
That'd
we
be
have time.
beautiful.
There's no rush on it.
Yeah.
We all got things going, but we want to work with so many people, and you do beautiful music. So.
That's cool.
Let's figure out some time to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely. It'd be
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you again, David.
All right.
It was so much fun.
You guys are
Yeah.
great.
And
Yeah.
then we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.